Championship Wrestling presents Road to Victory. I am Jason Heat alongside Eamon Payton, and all roads lead here to victory in West Virginia.
Quite an exciting night we have in store, Jason. We have such a great series of matches ahead for you here tonight. For everyone joining us on Fight TV, be sure to hashtag VCW Road to get all of your comments in. We love to hear what you have to say. We are going to crown the first ever VCW Heavyweight Champion tonight, Jason. Nothing more historic than that.
Absolutely. 8 men will vie in 2 fatal 4-ways. The winner of those matches will meet in our main event. And after 1 year of operation, we will have, we're going to go to the national anthem.
And now, this is your opening contest. So, in West Virginia, here we go!
We've got a fatal 4-way up first, one of 2, as Andrew Palace, Madman, Fulton, Cowpoke Paul, and Remy Lavey will battle for one of 2 spots in our main event, the winner of which will become the inaugural Victory Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
It's amazing looking at this lineup, and really the lineup across the tournament in general. Any one of these 8 men can become champion in my mind.
I think the odds-on favorite amongst all 8 competitors in this tournament is this man right now. Not a man, a main event monster.
In the semi-final fatal 4-way match in the tournament to crown the very first VCW Heavyweight Champion. Introducing first participant number 1 from Toledo, Ohio, weighing in at 275 pounds. He is the main event monster. This is Fulton.
Jason, this man's your favorite, and I think for good reason. Madman Fulton has had such a rise here in VCW.
I do want to be clear. I think he is the odds-on favorite. My emotional favorite will enter in a little bit.
That's a fair point.
I think Fulton has all the tools it takes to be one of the biggest stars in wrestling, but my heart belongs to another Cowpoke. Making their way, the person with the most momentum, the mastermind of the origin.
Participant number 2 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing at 220 pounds, the minor racer,
An 11-year veteran in the wrestling business, Remy Lavey, has said going into this tournament that he is done playing nice. He is done waiting his turn. And with the origin by his side, And ever since he put Izzy Lambert in that casket, Remy Lavey is clear-eyed and focused on what he wants.
Manipulative, dangerous, desperate to belong, but even more desperate to lead.
As we get ready for, I would say, my favorite in this tournament, my pick to win this all. We talk about momentum all the time. This man is riding the wave here in Victory Championship Wrestling.
The racing pulse of VCW. The man who won War Games. We're about to see the entrance of the man who can't be stopped.
Cannot be stopped. Don't stop him.
Just don't stop him, particularly not now.
Andrew Palace, he's fast usually, but he's got an extra pep in his step here for the VCW Heavyweight Title Tournament. Our cameras can barely catch him.
The racing pulse of VCW, but I assure you, if your pulse rate was what Andrew Palace brings to the table, you'd be dead of cardiac arrest. This man's heart dial goes up past 11 for sure. As
you mentioned, he was the one that secured that submission in War Games over Wilbur Whitlock, securing the victory for his team and defeating Pretty Patrick Hayes to qualify for this tournament. Andrew Palace is on such a roll.
The Spazmanian Devil here to have a good time. And no better time to be had tonight than winning the very first VCW Heavyweight Championship. Here we go! The Cowpoke Posse is out in full force tonight in celebration of the Yeehaw Kid, a man on a hot streak that has to be seen to be believed. He has won, and let me count it, a battle royal to receive a contract with VCW. He defeated the Beastman, the Origin, both Malachi Gage and Christian Noir in one match. Dan Richards, and most recently, Remy Lavey. Cowpoke Paul going all the way. Yeehaw, baby.
It is quite the night for Cowpoke Paul to really show why he can be the top blue ribbon wrestler in all of VCW. But you mentioned the matchup with Remy Lavey at our last event. Cowpoke Paul picking up the victory, but it was by disqualification after just egregious attack at the hands of the Origin. You got to think Cowpoke Paul is also looking for a little bit of revenge here. Ooh, as Fulton, oh my God!
All these men understand that Fulton is the danger. No one is going to get a pinfall, a submission, or a referee stoppage if Fulton is still active in the ring.
And I think what you're saying, Jason, we're seeing it right there as Remy, Andrew, and Cowpoke Paul all gonna try to take down the big man.
Strange alliances being formed here. It is every man for themselves, as we're now seeing Remy Lavey taking advantage of the situation, exactly what one would expect from a manipulative, sadistic man just like the Mind Eraser.
Talk of a close line, but Palace, who dives to the outside, wiping out Madman Fulton.
Cowpoke Paul with the most momentum, the only person undefeated in this match, coming in. Such an incredible win-loss record has Cowpoke Paul. Have you ever seen a cowboy fly?
I haven't seen it, but we might just see it right now. Big suicide senton to the outside, wiping out the competition. Question is, can Cowpoke Paul capitalize? He's got a hold of Remy Lavey.
He's already beaten Remy Lavey once. Yes, it was by disqualification. Maybe he wants a victory that's a little more than Pyrrhic, as he's riding the Mind Eraser.
Ride them, cowboy, but oh, Andrew Palace coming in with a drop kick. Andrew Palace. It's so interesting in a matchup like this how the tides can turn so quickly, how momentum can shift for the different wrestlers in this matchup, and it's almost hard to strategize when you have to worry about 3 competitors instead of 1.
Madman Fulton taking advantage of the assist from Remy Lavey, big scoop and a slam on Andrew Palace.
And Remy Lavey almost just feeding opponents out. I think Fulton caught on to what Remy Lavey was trying to do there. And now just clubbering blows right to the kidneys.
This match is one fall to a finish. The first person to achieve success on their opponents will make it to the main event. You want to win as quickly as possible because you've got a second match coming up later tonight. You want to be as fresh as you can.
Sleeper hold here by Lavey. And again, this 3-on-1, you know, putting things aside to take out Madman Fulton. I think that's their best strategy. Oh, double super kick.
The problem is no one's going to agree on who gets to claim the spoils.
Yeah, I don't know what Remy Lavey was thinking there, trying to go in for that cover. Andrew Palace and Cowpoke Paul are not going to go quietly into the night.
In professional wrestling, timing is everything, but no more so is that the case than in a multi-man match. Not only do you have to incapacitate one opponent to pin or submit them, but you have to make sure that the ring is clear of everyone else, as now we are seeing double team offense by Cowpoke Paul.
Saddle up center! And now, disposing of Remy Lavey, now are Palace and Cowpoke Paul going to square off?
They know so much is on the line. Both of these men want to be champion, but somehow Madman Fulton has made his way back into the ring.
They're going to just try to clubber him with blows. How do you not just ground someone like Madman Fulton, that's one thing, but dispose of Fulton enough to get a focus on this contest? Fulton!
The strength of several men on display by the Monster. He refers to himself as the main event monster. Boy, does he want to prove that tonight by making it to our main event and becoming the first ever VCW champion.
Ooh, Fulton comes charging. Cowpoke Paul able to move out of the way. Palace and Paul, they got to put anything aside here to work on Madman Fulton. Just clubbering them with clotheslines in the corner, one after the other.
Always go after the biggest dog in the yard. There is no bigger dog than the monster dog, Fulton.
Oh, God. Cowpoke Paul gets caught. Oh, Andrew Palace gets nailed by Cowpoke Paul.
And Palace with the strength to catch Paul in the air, but gets set up for that cutter, as right now, Fulton is on an absolute tear.
I think this is what you mentioned before about Fulton being the odds-on favorite. He's showcasing it right here.
Fulton has the experience. Fulton has had wrestling matches on the biggest stages possible. No one has the national exposure in this tournament that Fulton does.
Thinking double choke slam. Both men able to fight out. Ooh, Palace with a jawbreaker. Nicely done. Fulton charging.
Fulton may be a monster, but he's still only one man, and effectively right now, this is a handicap match.
Ooh, what a forearm shot there by Andrew Palace. Has Fulton rocked? No way. Is Palace going to be able to get up the big man?
Andrew Palace may be a bit of a dark horse in this match. Not a lot of people maybe.
Oh, wait, Remy Lavey coming from behind. Schoolboy. Oh, he got it!
Remy Lavey. Remy Lavey just stole this match. I was gonna say nothing illegal, but that's not even true. Remy Lavey grabbed the tights, grabbed the moment. Remy Lavey's trying to grab the title in the main event.
Just like that, Remy Lavey sees his opening and snatches it. Andrew Palace frustrated, but Remy Lavey's going on to the main event tonight. Could Remy Lavey become the first ever VCW heavyweight champion?
The origin is 2-0. In the pre-show, we saw Malachi Gage and Christian Noir successful in tag team action. We've now seen Remy Lavey, the mastermind of the origin, win this four-way, and neither of our picks are going through.
I mean, I just lost a lot of money tonight. I don't know how great that is for me, but it's still a great night here for VCW, and we have our second semifinals match coming up just in a few moments. Who will face Remy Lavey in the main event tonight will be Damian Chambes, Kincaid, No Good Nathan Aulridge, or Izzy Lambert.
The heart and soul of VCW, Damian Chambes, returns to action in this fatal four-way.
Remy Lavey has advanced to the finals in the tournament crowned the very first VCW heavyweight champion, but who will be later this afternoon is going to be determined in this, our second and final semi-final fatal four-way, set for one fall.
man who says nothing goes unpunished. No good, no friends, no problem.
No good Nathan Aulridge coming into this matchup of our victory over Colton Quinn at our last event. But still, after the dissolution of Deplorables, there's been a lot of questions in people's minds of where Nathan Aulridge heads at.
A veteran constantly demanding respect. Well, he certainly can earn it by being the very first champion in VCW history today.
And already, Nathan Aulridge, very vocal with the audience here tonight, McMecken.
The prize was already rich for Izzy Lambert, an opportunity to become champion, but now it's so much more, because if Izzy Lambert wins this fatal four-way, he has an opportunity to get his hands on the man that has vexed him for an entire year, his former tag team partner and longtime enemy, Remy Lavey.
It's such a great point, Jason. I gotta think an added bit of motivation. And Izzy Lambert coming off of a victory, qualifying for this tournament over Tommy Irish of the Wise Guys. Izzy has said that ever since that casket closed in the casket match with Remy Lavey, that old Izzy Lambert is still there. There's a new Izzy Lambert that we're seeing, and we could be seeing that new Izzy Lambert become VCW heavyweight champion.
It does my heart good to see the heart and soul of VCW returning from injury. There was some question about whether Damian Chambes would be cleared to wrestle in this tournament. It's fantastic to see him, but the question certainly is, has he come back too soon? Is it possible that Damian Chambes is at 100%?
I mean, he's definitely looking in great condition as he did when we last saw him. But Damian Chambes, you know, this is put up or shut up time with the VCW heavyweight title on the line.
And the final participant, the champion wrestling on Swing from Goddess Bliss, West Virginia, weighing at 183 pounds, this is Kincaid.
The fly in the ointment, the spanner in the works, the A&R Kitty, Kincaid, the technical mystic who makes magic in the ring, a sorcerer of submissions, is Kincaid.
I'm feeling very festive tonight. I think Kincaid wins the sweater contest.
Ready to celebrate early, and what better thing to hang on the mantle as they're waiting for jolly old St. Nick than a brand new VCW title belt.
Kincaid, I think another person who is very much a favorite in this tournament when you look at the field, just with his experience and his resume.
A violent artist, some refer to him as the Salvador Dali of the roped canvas. You will see things coming out of the mind of Kincaid that certainly cannot be taught in professional wrestling school, a constant innovator.
Nathan Aulridge wants complete silence as he...
Nathan Aulridge is never going to win a Mr. Congeniality competition, that's for sure.
Oh, but Izzy Lambert for... Oh!
Hey, if you have the temerity to leave a bald spot like that out, you are begging for it to get bitten.
That's
what I've
very
always
fair.
said.
Oh, and a clothesline, too, from Izzy Lambert.
Wear a hat. Kincaid's got a tattoo.
Very nice.
That's a defensive ward.
Avoid it like the plague, as now Izzy Lambert getting sent off into the ropes. Takes down Damian Chambes with a big forearm shot.
Damian Chambes, so good to see him back. Same thing with Kincaid.
He picked up a victory over Gory and Benny Conley to qualify, to be a part of this tournament.
Always innovating, constantly in the workshop, creating brand new moves. Kincaid says he believes in big fights and workers' rights.
And I gotta also think, Kincaid with submission sort of being his specialty, does that almost work to a disadvantage for Kincaid in this matchup when you have so many competitors, and it makes it so much more important to have an opponent dead to rights in the center of the ring with no one to break it up.
Kincaid actually believes that multi-man matches are in fact his strength. He says in the chaos, he reigns supreme. And right now, Izzy Lambert proving no one has more to lose than Lambert. He wants not only a shot at that title, he wants his hand around Remy Lavey's neck so bad he can taste it.
Nice hip toss into the neck breaker there by Izzy Lambert as Damian Chambers makes his way in. We talked earlier about Andrew Palace and his role in War Games. Damian Chambers also had a very significant part in having Team Beastman be victorious at War Games.
In so many ways, Damian Chambers, the hero of VCW, says the world only makes sense if you force it to. Damian Chambers always ready to enforce his mindset, his will onto the world of professional wrestling.
And Nathan Aulridge just cutting off Damian Chambers with whatever he had in mind.
Nathan Aulridge has run roughshod over VCW for the better part of a year as 1/4 of the deplorables, but now he's on his own, not even going for a pin, just choking Damian Chambers.
And now just admonishing our referee, George Ross, who has got a tough test on his hands keeping control of these 4 competitors, but particularly Nathan Aulridge.
It is so difficult to man a 4-man match for our officials. There is so much opportunity to take advantage as the crafty, cranky, and cantankerous veteran, no good Nathan Aulridge taking it to Damian Chambers.
And now again, just choking Chambers on that middle rope. With someone like Chambers who relies so heavily on his athleticism, getting your windpipe cut off and getting the airflow cut off, it's not just, to try to pass somebody out, but it makes so much harder to keep that stamina.
Everyone looking to try and put their opponents to sleep. If you cut off the flow of oxygen to the brain, not only does it make it so that you can't move quicker, it really slows your reaction time, and that reaction time is what's essential in a multi-person match.
As now Izzy Lambert back in, gonna rain in on shots here on Nathan Aulridge.
We have seen the brightest star grow and change before our eyes, becoming a completely different professional wrestler, but nothing beats experience. Nathan Aulridge, Kincaid, 2 of the most experienced men on the VCW roster. Is that going to trump fire and heart and fury?
Nathan Aulridge seems to have the ring to himself here after those shots to both Izzy Lambert and Kincaid. Question is, can he capitalize? He's trying to roll Izzy into the center of the ring cover, but only 2.
Remy Lavey has already qualified. We know 1/2 of our main event. We are going to find out the other half. And of course, Lavey has an advantage already resting now, already in the back planning and watching. You have to wonder who Lavey wants to fight. I know for sure it's not Izzy Lambert.
You got to think in Lavey's mind, he put Izzy Lambert dead to rights in that casket, and he is done with him. But Damian Chambers now with the ring to himself. Question is, does he see Kincaid behind him? I don't think he does.
Kincaid absolutely a spoiler in this contest, as we see making his way right through both Lambert and Aulridge.
And now with a hold of both. Wait, Damian Chambers!
That is a suicide dive that pays dividends. It's Damian Chambers bringing in Kincaid.
He's got him up on his shoulders in a torture rack position. Kincaid, though, able to float over. Waistlock. Damian Chambers trying to fight back with everything he has.
We're going to see what kind of technical magic the submission mystic has in store. Look at that offense.
Drilling Damian Chambers headfirst in the mat. Oh, Izzy Lambert. No disqualification in this contest. Stunner.
Izzy Lambert, the first to realize he can bring in some outside help. Anything goes in a fatal 4-way. There is no disqualifications.
And now Chambers has got Nathan Aulridge back up onto the shoulders.
Such strength. Aulridge planted the deal. The deal hasn't been done, and it has. Welcome back to VCW, Damian Chambers. You have the opportunity of a lifetime to make your mark here in McMecken.
Damian Chambers is just one step away from not just being the heart and soul of VCW, but to be VCW heavyweight champion. He just has to get through Remy Lavey, and that is going to be quite the main event, Jason, between these two.
We know our main event tonight, Remy Lavey, Damian Chambers. There must be a winner. It's taken us a year to get here, but we will have a champion. So much more coming up tonight. We've got 2 tag team grudge matches, one of them with tables, one of them maybe with an opossum. We've certainly seen it before, as no good Nathan Aulridge just looking absolutely perplexed as to how this kind of indignity could happen to him.
But as you mentioned, Jason, the tag team tables match still to come between the Rad Boys and the Wise Guys. The grudge between those 2 teams is on another level, but just in a few moments, we're going to see another grudge match of epic proportions with Saturday Night Special Marcus Twist and DD Vice going head-to-head with Paulie Kilpis and Gannon Green, Mount Kilpis.
The history between these two is absolutely insane to recap. This is only a little bit, and this is all true. Saturday Night Special beheaded Bo the Possum on Father's Day in front of Paulie Kilpis and me, still paying the therapy bills. They cost Paulie a shot in War Games. They have had Mount Kilpis's number all year, and now Mount Kilpis means war. We're about to see tag team action. This is DD Vice and Marcus Twist, the broiest bros you've ever had the misfortune to meet.
I'm glad we could pry them out of Applebee's.
They do love Applebee's. We have learned they are huge Applebee's fans. They say they're always eating good under your mother's hood.
Okay, let's not.
Jaeger bombs and doing moms, that's what they're here for. This is not, listen, they've told me to say this.
Sometimes you just got to tell them no. You really do. You never know what you can get from Marcus Twist and DD Vice.
If I tell them no, they keep talking to me, and I don't want them to keep talking to me.
That's fair. Very fair.
I say yes, they move on, I go about my day. Speaking of things that I don't want, it's time for hugs.
Oh, jeez.
If you've never seen VCW before, Mount Kilpis, Paulie Kilpis.
Oh, wait a second. Saturday Night Special getting the jump here on Mount Kilpis.
This match hasn't even started, and Paulie Kilpis is rolling down the hill.
Oh my God, DD Vice.
SNS Saturday Night Special is beating Mount Kilpis from frog to log.
This has just gotten off the rails.
They're coming here.
Oh,
They're coming here. This isn't good. This isn't good. No, we got equipment. We've got equipment. This is very expensive. It's worth more than your life, DD Vice.
Paulie Kilpis trying to fight back here on DD Vice. This thing has just broken down in front of us. Oh my God, they're coming near us.
Your mother's favorite wrestlers are just absolutely taking it to Mount Kilpis. They have had the number of Mount Kilpis all year.
Oh, DD Vice. Oh God, gets set right on the
Marcus
stage.
Twist just smacked Gannon Green's head right into, now Paulie Kilpis going. This is crazy.
Oh my God!
This match has not even started yet, as don't ruin concessions, guys. Don't ruin concessions. That's someone's payday. That's someone's payday.
Paulie Kilpis, as you've mentioned before, Jason, Gannon Green found him on the top of a mountain and took him in to train him to be a pro wrestler.
Paulie Kilpis just shoved one of our prelim wrestlers' payments down the throat of one of Saturday Night Special.
Gannon Green has got Marcus up.
The hillbilly shooter.
Oh my God!
Smacking the sweet and sassy son of the Independents. There is absolutely no padding on this floor.
VCW's got to get control of this. Our referees trying their best. Oh
Our insurance bill goes up every event, man. It goes up every event.
Oh, wait. Gannon's trying to shove Marcus into a trash can right next to us.
Because of these 4 men, our insurance bill goes up and my envelope goes down every single event.
You get an envelope?
Sorry, buddy.
Well,
Dee Weiss and Paulie Kilpis literally amongst the crowd here in Macon, West Virginia. There's nothing like being here live where the action could literally land in your lap. And right now, the entire referee corps
Nicholas
is making their
West
way.
is commanding referees and security to try to get control of this.
I don't know why we thought this could possibly actually be the end of this rival. We thought we were going to get some kind of answer between Saturday Night Special and Mount Kilpis. Gannon Green like a bowling ball, just whacking right in to Saturday Night Special.
Trying to break up these 4.
They're trying, Eamon. They're trying.
It's a fool's errand at this point. They are dead set on ripping each other's heads off.
You want to go talk to them? You want to go try
I'm
and talk
good.
some reason?
I am more than good.
The crowd wants them to fight. They are fighting. Whether they're letting them fight or not, they're fighting.
Paulie Kilpis, I mean, when Saturday Night Special kills Paulie Kilpis' possum, that's personal. That takes things to a new level, and we're seeing it boil over right here.
You don't mess with a man's possum as Gannon Green chasing Kilpis through the doors. And this match never even started. This match never even started. Things get wilder and wilder here in wild and wonderful West Virginia. If you had any question about what's possible here, at our last event, the ceiling literally collapsed in the ring, and today the audience got an explosion in their laps.
I didn't think of anything would be more chaotic than the ceiling collapsing, but we just saw it right here with Mount Kilpis and Saturday Night Special. I mean, it has got, what is it going to take for these 2 teams to finally settle this thing?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea.
And as you get the official ruling from our ring announcer that the no contest between these 2, Nicholas West has to think of something.
I don't mean to be disrespectful. I really don't. But yeah, no contest, no duh. The match didn't even start.
Just absolute insanity in this contest. Well, I believe we're going to be moving on to our next matchup here tonight.
This one has been building for quite a while as Zeke Mercer and pretty Patrick Hayes go one-on-one.
We talk about grudge matches that we're seeing throughout tonight here at VCW Road to Victory. This is a big one between the former leader of the Deplorables and No Mercy Zeke Mercer. Zeke Mercer's leg broken by Patrick Hayes.
Zeke Mercer out for revenge. This is collateral damage from the war between the Deplorables and Team Beast. There's not a lot to like about Patrick Hayes, but I gotta give the devil his due. What a fantastic fashion sense. Every time this man comes out, he outdoes himself.
You know, I can get you that jacket. You really are fond of that jacket.
I'm fond of everything this man wears. He makes it look good.
Well, pretty Patrick Hayes.
Pretty for a reason.
Is coming off of a bit of a bad string of luck, you could say, here in VCW.
Don't let him hear you say that.
I won't. Nobody showed this match to pretty Patrick Hayes, but we mentioned War Games earlier and the loss that he suffered with the Deplorables, and then the dissolution of the Deplorables, abandoning Jake Ely a couple months ago.
Patrick Hayes declared the Deplorables dead and buried and now struck out on his own. Complicated, he has been very good friends, best friends, one might say, as much of a friend as Patrick Hayes is capable of being, to Wilbur Whitlock, the de facto leader of the Deplorables for many years, we have not seen since War Games. I believe it was Wilbur Whitlock's absence that allowed the Deplorables. That woman just almost took Patrick's head off.
Patrick Hayes has a lot of friends in this audience.
And none of them are grandmas.
No, not at all. But, you know, doing something as despicable as Patrick Hayes did, breaking the leg of Zeke Mercer, he's not afraid to make enemies. He has a long enemies list that he's built up in VCW to the point that even after War Games, we have people wanting to rip his head off.
A big brawler with a phenomenal sense of flair. Patrick Hayes looking for a signature win after he was denied entry into the tournament to crown the first VCW champion. You know that doesn't sit well with him, as he was in the original match against Beastman at our very first event that was supposed to crown a champion almost a year ago.
That's a very good point. Patrick Hayes may be rethinking a lot of things, but he's going to have to go head-to-head with Zeke Mercer here tonight and face a demon that has been looking for retribution.
Zeke Mercer, a true fan favorite here at VCW. Said it before and I'll say it again, because this is a mantra that Zeke Mercer lives by. He knows he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, and he's not the fastest. So Zeke Mercer has no choice but to be the best.
And he really has showcased that drive, that fighting spirit in the year we've had here at VCW. Zeke Mercer is always ready to fight, always ready to scrap, even like, as you said, Jason, when the odds are against him.
Known for grappling, striking, and ground and pound, going up against a man considered a technical brawler in Patrick Hayes, a real clash of styles, a real clash of attitudes, as Pretty Patrick takes on Zeke Mercer, the shooter of VCW. Few things motivate a man like revenge, but rage can really cloud your eyes and your judgment. We're gonna see if Zeke is able to focus and harness all of that energy, or if he gets waylaid by it and taken out of the fight by Patrick Hayes.
I think that's the real question. You know, because we talk about injuries like that. You know, it's not just the physical rehab that you have to go through in order to get back into the ring. You have to get into a mental headspace. That is, you know, what Patrick Hayes did to Zeke Mercer could have ended his wrestling career.
There's a real emotional toll that an injury takes on a competitor. You're faced with not the mortality of your life, but the mortality of your career. The possibility the thing you love, the thing you've trained in, can be taken away from you forever. Professional wrestling is a lot of these men's identity. It is their life. And the idea of life after that is very hard, even in the best of circumstances, to try and grapple with. When it's taken away from you at such a young age, devastating.
Well, one person who I know doesn't care whether or not he ended his career is Patrick Hayes. And now he's getting a bunch of months of built-up frustration here. Zeke Mercer laying it in right now to Patrick Hayes in the corner.
Zeke Mercer not afraid to hit Patrick Hayes right in that moneymaker, the pretty face of PPH.
And Patrick Hayes immediately rolling to the outside to try to get a breather, to try to get his wits about him.
Zeke Mercer looking to take a big risk and fly through the air, and just doing a little bit of a lap afterwards.
Wiping out Patrick Hayes, sending him halfway up the ramp here. Zeke Mercer.
Focus and intensity are hallmarks of Zeke Mercer, but you cannot win a match on the outside. You can do damage, you can maybe get a great advantage, but in order to win this contest, Zeke Mercer has to get the big old carcass of Patrick Hayes back in that ring.
Zeke Mercer now scaling up to the top turnbuckle. What could he be thinking here?
I mean, I don't want to be a prognosticator, but it looked like a moonsault. Unfortunately, Patrick Hayes taking advantage. High risk for a reason.
And now just clubbering Zeke Mercer here. Oh, Zeke has no way to protect himself, hung up in the top rope.
Absolutely brutal chops by Patrick Hayes, who has quite literally hung Zeke Mercer out to dry.
So vicious in that ring is Patrick Hayes. And oh my God, going to the leg!
Using the architecture of the ring to his advantage, the sign of a veteran. Technically nothing against the rule. No external object was used. That was purely the ring, used artfully for violence.
And Zeke Mercer clutching at that knee. Could he have possibly re-exacerbated that injury?
Absolutely no mistake that Patrick Hayes is singling out what he knows to be the weakness. Not only does he want to do damage to the actual ligaments and tendons of Zeke Mercer, but his psyche.
Oh my God, just scoop slam right onto that hardwood floor.
We saw earlier in the brawl between Saturday Night Special and Mount Kilpis just how much damage can be done. There is no padding here, no protection for these athletes outside the ring. That's actually meant to keep them in the ring. The point of no padding is to make it less likely that they go outside. Doesn't seem to be working.
Oh my God! And Zeke Mercer, that leg just getting sent straight into that metal guardrail.
When
Patrick Hayes has smelled blood in the water, so to speak, and he is pouncing on that leg.
When bone meets metal, there can only ever be one victor, and I assure you it is not bone.
Zeke Mercer, I mean, if he was able to overcome those mental issues, those confidence issues coming back from this leg injury, they may just be rolling back in his head now, because the referee is up to a count of 9.
Patrick Hayes perfectly willing to win this match by countout if able. I don't think that he feels the need to get a pinfall win. I don't think he needs to make Zeke submit. He's very happy to end this quickly in whatever fashion is available to him.
And how despicable, you know, and unsportsmanlike for Patrick Hayes to just try to brutalize someone like this, to try to really personally injure someone like this to get a victory in the cheapest way imaginable.
There's an unwritten code of etiquette in professional wrestling. You do what you can to beat your opponent, but you don't try to injure them purposely. That is something we are seeing Patrick Hayes completely toss by the wayside right now. He's done it before. He is saying he will do it again.
Oh, and now just look at him tying up Zeke Mercer's legs in that ring post.
Grabbing the apron, almost a modified figure 4, using his arms instead of his legs. Patrick Hayes, so effective in his brutality.
Look at him, so proud of his work too. Just the way he stalks the ring, the way he just is soaking up the pain and the agony that Zeke Mercer is going through right now.
Zeke Mercer had a really great first offense, a first flurry with that suicide dive. Thought that he could continue with the high-risk moves, and unfortunately, it cost him. It was getting caught up on the top rope that allowed Patrick Hayes to take advantage. He's never let up since he got it.
Look at the way that Patrick Hayes just twists the knee of Zeke Mercer any which way. How is Zeke Mercer going to be able to fight up against somebody like Patrick Hayes when he's got his leg just completely incapacitated?
One option would be if he could sucker Patrick Hayes into his guard. Zeke does have a much stronger ground game than Patrick Hayes, but Patrick Hayes has years and years of experience. However good Zeke Mercer is, he's still only a few years into the professional wrestling journey, and there is no match whatsoever for wisdom and experience.
But Patrick Hayes, as much as that wisdom and experience we do see, he is taking way too long here to just gloat in the face of Zeke Mercer.
Zeke Mercer not one to back down, actually asking for more. Please, sir, may I have another?
Look at Zeke almost defying Patrick Hayes here.
Daring Patrick Hayes to put Zeke Mercer down if he can.
Look at the look at his eyes.
That is a crazed look. That is a dangerous, dangerous man. We are seeing sides of Zeke Mercer we have never seen before.
Look at Zeke Mercer just soaking up that chop. And now gonna fire in with blows on Patrick Hayes in the corner.
It's like Zeke Mercer took in all the energy, all the impact, and now with those Kawada chops in the corner, and now a second round.
Just something has gotten lit under Zeke Mercer.
Slicing up Patrick Hayes' chest like he ordered thinly cut at the deli.
Oh, now up under the shoulders, Zeke able to reverse. Drops him right on the knee, and Patrick Hayes gets laid out in the center of the ring. Can he get a cover?
It's totally possible that Zeke Mercer has broken the code of Patrick Hayes. And at the count of 2, the pretty one manages to make a pretty escape.
But I think Zeke Mercer, because of that injury, took a little too long to get to that cover, had to crawl his way into that cover, and not capitalize in the way that he needed to put away Patrick Hayes.
Zeke Mercer is going to be fighting from behind the entirety of this match. It's not that he can't, and now seeing going for a ripcord of some kind, almost a Rainmaker attempt.
Could this be the brain buster? Oh, Zeke able to fight out. Reversal!
driving Patrick Hayes right on his pretty little head. But can Zeke Mercer capitalize, or does he need to take a moment to recuperate? That's a strategic question Mercer has to ask, and he goes for the cover.
And Patrick Hayes just barely able to get his foot under the bottom rope. And unlike that last cover from Zeke, while he still had to, expend that energy to crawl over, notice that he tried to put all of the body weight he could down onto the shoulders of Patrick Hayes.
This battle has been between one of drive and determination on the side of Zeke Mercer and the craftiness, the wisdom that's acquired over years in the ring that Patrick Hayes brings. Minimal effort, great awareness, putting his feet on the ropes, which does break the count. If you are new to VCW, thank you so much for joining us here on Fight via IndyWrestling.us. Use the hashtag VCWRoad to join the conversation. Let us know who you think is going to win our main event between Lavey and Damian Chambers. Also, tell your friends to order the show right now.
Zeke Mercer able to fight from underneath. Oh, and what a lariat there by Mercer! Turns Patrick Hayes inside out, but just able to get the shoulder up his pitty Patrick Hayes.
Zeke Mercer tried to make it rain so hard it brings the ceiling down a second month in a row.
Zeke trying to get this crowd of McMecken to rally behind him and give him some of that needed energy.
Saw Zeke Mercer go up top before, and it did not pay off. But maybe now we can see what Zeke Mercer had in mind, what he could do. And choosing instead of the top, going to the second, and still no water in that pool, man.
Patrick Hayes able to move out of the way, and now Patrick Hayes looking to go up top.
This is an absolutely terrifying sight. If I'm laying on the ground, the last thing I want to see is
my
Patrick
God!
Hayes.
That's got to be it. Patrick Hayes not going in for a cover.
Patrick Hayes with that frog splash, absolutely squashing 269 pounds exactly, and now paying homage to his countrymen with the sharpshooter applied.
And on that injured knee, though, of Zeke Mercer. This cannot be good for Zeke Mercer's chances. He's got to find a way to fight free here.
Zeke Mercer desperately needs to make the rope and is able to do so. Wait, Patrick Hayes just pulled Zeke Mercer dead center.
And now just cranking, and look at the torque on that knee. Zeke Mercer's trying to find some way to fight out.
So much power in those legs and thighs by Patrick Hayes. There is no place for Zeke Mercer to grab it. It looks like he's fading.
Zeke might be out.
There's no life left in Zeke Mercer.
Zeke passing out from the pain of that sharpshooter. Zeke Mercer not tapping out, but just the sheer pain in that knee. Passing out, and Patrick Hayes picking up a much-needed victory here.
Patrick Hayes was looking for vindication. Patrick Hayes was looking to prove that on his own, he can be just as dangerous as being any kind of member of the Deplorables. And boy, Patrick Hayes has proven a point tonight.
Oh, but going back to the leg. Someone stop him.
No one said he was a nice guy. No one said he had good intentions. Zeke Mercer only just waking up after being put to sleep from the pain and waking up to find himself in a living nightmare.
This is getting past the point.
It is
You
long
won the
past
match.
the point.
You won the match. Stop trying to end this man's career. Stop trying to stop this man from making a living.
Our referees pleading with Patrick Hayes, trying to get some kind of reinforcements, trying to get someone who can rip Patrick Hayes off. Patrick Hayes looking to re-injure Zeke Mercer.
Wait a minute.
Come on, man.
That's Wilbur Whitlock.
That's enough. That's enough. I got it from here, guys. Help this kid out.
We haven't seen Whitlock since War Games.
This is it. That's enough. Look, I'm here to talk to you. It's time to move on, man. It's time to move on. What do you want to do? Do you want to break the kid's leg again? All right. Well, the last time we broke that kid's leg, he got better and he kicked our ass in the steel cage. You remember that? shut. It's better for everybody. Brother Whitlock, you know, I haven't talked to you in months since War Games. But maybe you're right. Maybe 2023, with the big tag title tournament coming up, maybe it's time for Patrick Hayes and my best friend, my life partner, the godfather of my daughter, we'll go whoop some ass and become the first ever Victory Tag Team Champions, huh? Let's do it one more time for the West Virginia Smack.
Looks like Wilbur Whitlock was able to talk some sense into Patrick Hayes. We have seen the development of a new tag team. We know tag team titles are on the way here in VCW. These two could be a very dangerous unit.
Well, and oh, wait a second! What the hell?
You don't turn your back on a scorpion or you're gonna get stung. I mean, Wilbur Whitlock has been friends with Patrick Hayes long enough to know there's no such thing as friendship with Patrick Hayes.
Patrick Hayes, oh my God!
That is a terrible angle to see a neck. Oh my God.
Patrick Hayes has just left in his wake destruction here in VCW, whether it was Zeke Mercer or now Wilbur Whitlock.
He didn't know it at the time, but Wilbur Whitlock literally put his life on the line for Zeke Mercer. I hope that's something that Zeke Mercer notices and recognizes, because Wilbur Whitlock has suffered for his kindness. Patrick Hayes is looking to run roughshod over VCW, even if he has to take out his friends.
Whitlock firing back with a spear, cutting right through pretty Patrick Hayes. And I can't say he doesn't deserve it.
Whitlock not gonna take this line down and maybe deciding he's had enough, but no, not yet. This is 20 years of friendship down the drain, and in 20 years, you get a lot of resentments that build up. I've only known you for 2 months. I already want to do that.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. We're all good. Don't turn your back.
Well, Wilbur Whitlock, I think Wilbur has realized Patrick is a bit of a lost cause.
Wilbur Whitlock looks to be back in VCW in a big way. And if there was any question about whether or not the Deplorables could put aside their differences and become a unit once again, no questions, not anymore. These are 4 individuals, and I think they are all on a collision course with each other.
And it was almost as if Wilbur Whitlock gave Patrick Hayes the out. He gave him the opportunity. Let's focus on championships. Let's focus on being the top stars in VCW. And the fact that Patrick Hayes is unwilling to take that, is unwilling to focus, and to instead get so riled up by these people, Patrick Hayes is going to be feeling the repercussions of this for a long time. If he wants to keep building this enemies list, go right ahead.
Wilbur Whitlock said Patrick Hayes needs to move on from Zeke Mercer. Sometimes it's hard to move on when there's nothing to move on to. You need a rebound, right? It's hard to get over your ex until you have someone to move on to. But boy, Wilbur Whitlock just gave Patrick Hayes a reason to move on.
And Patrick Hayes just a crumpled mess in the center of the ring. He is completely...
There's an old adage in professional wrestling and in life: no one hits you harder than your friends. Patrick Hayes, living proof of that right now, being rolled out of the ring like a sack of potatoes. Canadian taters.
Well, he's going to have to go back to Canada and get his head in the game. But Jason, still a lot of great matches here tonight. And are we ready to get violent here with this next one?
Finishing the first half of Road to Victory with an absolute potential bloodbath. Beastman versus Mad Dog.
A dog collar holding these two men together, and no rules means anything can happen in this one.
Now in this next match, brought to you by Sinclair Lanes, there are no rules. It is set for one
This weekend has already seen one brutal, absolutely vicious dog collar match, and now we're gonna get a second. One of the most violent spectacles in professional wrestling. Zach Meyers looking to prove that nobody is too big for the Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Zach Meyers. This matchup booked last month by our commissioner, Nicholas West, after the 6-man tag match with Mad Dog Zach Meyers in Saturday Night Special against Beastman and Mount Kilpis. And Nicholas West, you know, noticing that Mad Dog Zach Meyers seemingly in that matchup wanted nothing to do with Beastman. You know, these two big men have really been on a collision course in the past few months, but now there's going to be no choice for Mad Dog Zach Meyers. There's no Saturday Night Special. It's going to be Zach Meyers and Beastman one-on-one in this matchup, and we're going to settle who the true big man in VCW is.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt that walking into this match, the favorite, the sentimental favorite, is this man. So much better than a beast, so much more than a man. The Stone Age Savage from deepest, darkest West Virginia. This is the Beastman.
I mean, his presence literally tore the roof off of McMecken, West Virginia here at our last event.
Tonight, Mad Dog Meyers wants to be known as the Cryptid Killer, taking out one of the absolute wonders of West Virginia in the Beastman. Zach Meyers had held the Big Man Extravaganza Challenge, where he wrestled some of the biggest big men in the area, and he defeated Billy Knox. He defeated Ryder Reed, Paulie Kilpis, and the Brohemoth, and only lost that challenge when the Beastman interfered.
That loss to Sean Resnick in the Big Man Extravaganza, I think, was the thing that really set off Mad Dog Meyers more than anything.
Zach Meyers is one sick puppy, but even he knows he has made a huge error in judgment by allowing himself to get chained to the Stone Age Savage.
And what better matchup to settle this than in a dog collar match? These two men consider themselves rabid individuals. Let's put them in their environment.
Call yourself a dog, you're gonna get put on a leash at some point, that's for sure. We've seen so many terribly dangerous, violent, vicious dog collar matches in history. About to add another one to the annals of professional wrestling. This is our first dog collar match, and Beastman, sometimes it takes a lot to get Beastman to understand exactly what he's agreed to.
I do not envy referee Josh Mann to try to get these two men under control to even start this contest. Oh wait, Beastman with a hold of the chain though.
It's tough to have pity for Mad Dog Meyers, but in this moment, he is certainly very, very vulnerable, having allowed himself to be chained before Beastman has even been corralled. And now...
And Nicholas West with security coming out here to try to just get Beastman in the collar.
It has been a very busy night for our security corps.
Honestly, they need a raise at this point after everything that happened with Saturday Night Special and Mount Kilpis.
I think we all deserve hazard pay.
Beastman just wants at Mad Dog Meyers, but he's got to get that chain on if he wants to start this contest.
Mad Dog Meyers doing the smart thing and staying out of the ring until Beastman is also tethered. Nick West literally putting himself in between the two men, if you can call Beastman a man.
And look at the security having to restrain Beastman to get this collar on.
4, 5, 6 men, and now as soon as the collar is on, this match is ready to begin.
Beastman's hooked up, and Zach Meyers now has nowhere to run as he is tied to an absolute beast in that ring.
Beastman, a wild creature, does not like the feeling of being choked and chained may have to take out that feeling on the Mad Dog.
I'm trying to bite the chain. Beastman, I mean, how do you prepare for anyone, not just Mad Dog Zach Meyers, how do you prepare to fight someone like Beastman?
You hope and you pray and you make peace with whatever God you do or don't believe in. And then you hit him really hard in the head with a chain. Over and over and over again until he bleeds.
That's got to be the strategy if I'm Mad Dog Zach Meyers. Because look at the delight, the smile, the Cheshire grin on Beastman.
If you've ever watched a nature documentary and see a predator playing with their food, congratulations, you're watching the same thing right now.
And now giving Zach Meyers the slack in the chain.
Mad Dog Meyers asked for this. Mad Dog Meyers attacked Beastman in the back. Mad Dog Meyers challenged Beastman as part of the Big Man Extravaganza, and Beastman laughed off the Mad Dog. Well, you got what you asked for, Meyers.
Zach Meyers has got to be regretting it right now as not even able to budge Beastman in the early goings. And if Beastman gets into control, if Beastman gets into the driver's seat in this contest for too long, this could just go on. Ooh.
No rules. Zach Meyers taking advantage. Even a beast has a soft spot, and for all of us, that's got to be the eyes.
Just choking out Beastman here in the corner. I think that's the only way in which you're going to be able to bring the Beastman down to size.
Beastman just popped the dog right in the head. A battle over territory as the prowling Zach Meyers, known for carrying that chain around and now maybe hoisted by his own petard in this particular match.
That chain, obviously, not just to keep these competitors away from one another, but to be used as a weapon as well. Oh, and now just whipping the Mad Dog.
It's actually meant to keep them together. It's meant to make sure that Mad Dog Meyers cannot escape the Beastman. It's meant to make sure that Mad Dog Meyers cannot escape the consequences of his actions in this match. That chain is accountability personified. Sometimes you gotta hold people accountable for their actions.
And this is the most intense, the most violent way in which to do just that for the Beastman.
Zach Meyers recently joined forces with Saturday Night Special to call themselves the Worst Generation.
Oh my God, right to the eye of Mad Dog Meyers with that chain. Beastman is just enjoying himself. Oh.
I don't know how Mad Dog Meyers is even thinking as Beastman getting stuck and almost squashing Mad Dog Meyers.
This is the trouble wrestling somebody like Beastman. As big as he is and as uncontrollable as he is.
Beastman will make you fight for every ounce, every inch, every pound, and he has plenty of poundage that you have to fight for.
Now able to take Beastman over the top.
And the leverage of that chain over the top, this could be anybody's ball game if you played ball by hitting people in the head with chains. And if you did, I'm so sorry for your childhood. That sounds rough.
Wait, Mad Dog Meyers springs up. Oh, big shot. Takes Beastman out onto the floor. Oh, it takes Meyers over with the chain.
The momentum of Beastman going over the ropes dragged Mad Dog Meyers out of the ring by his neck.
That's the trouble in a matchup like this. The fact that Mad Dog Meyers may have suffered the worst of that.
Anything you do to your opponent can come back to bite you twice as hard as anything you could do to the other person. Here's the thing. You can maneuver a person. You can wrestle a man. You can even tame a beast. The chain is wild, and the chain will do whatever it damn well pleases.
Oh, God! Steel chair right to the back of Beastman, but it doesn't seem to faze him.
This is kind of like a cup of coffee for Beastman.
Not even flinching.
That is a very, very, very upsetting look.
Just wiping out the Mad Dog here, and with no regard even for Beastman's own bodies, he's clutching at his hand.
Beastman, a creature of instinct, not always making the right decision, but making the decision that feels right in the moment.
And now they're heading up the ramp here.
As far as I know, is this match a false count anywhere match, Eamon, or do they have to reemerge into the ring?
I have a feeling it has to be done in the ring, but Josh Mann, I think, has just lost full control of this contest.
There's no countouts, that's for sure. as they are making their way to the top of our stage.
Now just eyeing up the Beastman. Again, both men just trading blows with one another.
Super impressive that Zach Meyers is a,
Oh my God. Oh my dear God.
'Tis the season to be violent. Tra-la-la-la-la, screw you, Mad Dog.
Oh God, they're heading
This is what happens to a Grinch in West Virginia.
They're heading our way.
This is
Jason,
not good. This is not good.
getting wiped out on the floor with that clothesline after the shrubbery just went headfirst into a Mad Dog Meyers. And now she's dragging him.
Beastman learned a new word. I've only ever heard him say husk, but now we can say woof. So whatever else Mad Dog has accomplished the impossible, he actually taught the Beastman
Oh my
something.
dear God. The guardrail being just wielded by Beastman.
Oh my God, please. Beastman, in his zeal to behead Zach Meyers, almost accidentally took out our whole first row.
This may be the most chaotic night in all of Victory Championship Wrestling, Jason.
And let me say, there is a lot to compete with in the short history of this promotion.
I mean, we've had dead dinosaurs, we've had dead possums.
We have seen the ceiling collapse and water pour down onto the competitors, and yet somehow Road to Victory may be the absolute craziest it's ever been so far. We're about even halfway through.
Beastman, again, Mad Dog Meyers just on spaghetti legs here, getting rocked.
Oh no. There's only so far Beastman can go to get momentum, but boy, it was far enough as the cannonball
God!
crushes the guardrail.
Metal is not supposed to bend like that, but against the body of Beastman.
There's no padding. That is bare skin grating against metal, and Zach Meyers has just been granted a reprieve that the Mad Dog absolutely needs to take advantage of.
But look at him, pulling him by the chain.
Just trying to get close enough to get that chair.
And now rolling Beastman into the ring by just sheer force.
You were promised brutality, and these two men are gonna deliver in spades.
Eyeing up the Beastman. Oh my God! Head first! Right to the side of the head with that steel chair, full force into Beastman.
That is a very uncomfortable scene. That is a very upsetting scene to see anyone's head take a chair full force. We have learned so much about the dangers of blunt force trauma to the brain, and this has become very, very hard to watch.
And Beastman busted open here, and Mad Dog just rubbing the blood. The brutality that Zach Meyers is showcasing.
Zach Meyers smells the blood. He sees the blood. Zach Meyers has no time for the weak, and Zach Meyers certainly has no mercy.
Ooh, whipping him with the chain. Those lashes across the back. And look at the blood just pouring down on the face of Beastman.
In so many ways, this match is the equalizer between Dog and Beast. That chain is the customary weapon of Mad Dog Meyers. No one knows how to use it better, more offensively than the Mad Dog. This is knocked unconscious is the Beastman.
Beastman, at a count at one, able to get the shoulder up, powering out almost out of instinct. That beast-like instinct of Beastman, telling him to just keep fighting.
Mad Dog Meyers finally starting to let the stress maybe get to him a little bit. You can win this match via pinfall. You can win this match via submission. I don't think Beastman even knows how to say I give up.
That's a great question. I mean,
literally. I don't think he could say it. If he was thinking it, I don't think he has the vocabulary to say I quit.
Yes, absolutely. But also, I mean, just the instinct of Beastman, everything that we've seen from Beastman across the year here in VCW. You know, I don't think Beastman has the any concept in his mind of giving up.
We've already seen Zeke Mercer pass out due to the pain to Patrick Hayes. It is incredibly possible that we're gonna have a 2-for-1 special on that particular ending, because I think the Beastman is fading fast.
I think that miscalculation by Beastman on the floor that broke that guardrail has really been the difference maker, because this is the first time that Zach Meyers has been in full control of this contest.
There is no way to get any separation. There's no way to escape. You only have the length of the chain, but there's no escape in Beastman as he's beginning to make his way up.
Those clubbering blows by Beastman, but not enough to put down Zach Meyers, and Beastman is just completely shot here.
Trying to shoot the half.
But
Zach Meyers just trying to roll the Beastman over.
Again, only a 1 count.
Zach Meyers gazing at his handiwork, not even getting frustrated, just plotting, planning, trying to see what he has to do. What does he have to do to kill the Beast?
Mad Dog Meyers. Oh, and now just wrapping the chain around the throat. The added pressure to the throat of Beastman. I think maybe that's the best strategy, just to try to choke him out. That's the only way. Ooh.
Zach Meyers, a modern-day Gaston. Kill the Beast, kill the Beast, kill the Beast.
Oh, but Beastman, with all of his weight just backing into the turnbuckles. Question is, does he even know where he is right now? Big charging senton in the corner.
Beastman wants to give Mad Dog Meyers the good old yeller, put him down behind the barn.
And look at the blood, just the war paint across Beastman.
You talked about the war paint of the blood, and now the tribal chant begins, that husk, husk, husk.
Well, I don't know what it means. It's gotta mean, oh God! Fight, it's gotta mean fighting spirit in some way, because the way that Beastman is able to just channel that energy.
Here's what it means. In the mean streets of Baltimore, where I'm from, you hear the farmer in the dell, you know Omar coming, you hear in McMecken, West Virginia, and you hear Husk, get out of the way. Beastman is making his way out of the woods.
And Beastman now with the chair set up. What could he be thinking here?
I don't think the Beastman thinks. I think the Beastman acts.
He sees prey. Oh! And just tries to rip it apart.
Two violent predators going at it tooth and nail, metal and claw.
Oh, and just those open hand punches with the chain.
Beastman wants to open a gash in the face of Zach Meyers to match his own.
Up onto the shoulders. What is Beastman thinking? Death Valley driver.
And only by the sheer deliverance of God did Mad Dog Meyers' leg not hit that chair.
And now back up to his feet. Beastman has Zach Meyers. Oh no, drop toe hold. Sends him headfirst into the chair. That is the last thing that Beastman needed in this contest.
An ode to Raven.
Oh, that rolling elbow. He got it.
Zach Meyers just slew the Beast.
That elbow strike with the added effect of the chain was enough to put the Beastman down at least for a 3 count, and Mad Dog Meyers victorious.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the amount of disease in the dog, and this is one sick pup. Mad Dog Meyers has won the dog collar match.
A victory for Mad Dog Meyers and a silencing of the critics.
This crowd in astonishment. I don't think any of them thought that the Beastman could possibly lose. And now Mad Dog Meyers extricating himself from his confinement.
Oh, jeez. Beastman.
Beastman going absolutely berserk, but the point, the statement has been made. The winner of this match is Mad Dog Meyers. He called out the Beast and lived to tell the tale.
Beastman with daggers at Zach Meyers.
Bruised, bloody, beaten, and battered, the Beastman has been shown up in his own home.
What a violent encounter here. I mean, we got a Christmas tree strung out across our stage. We've got a broken guardrail.
This is only the first half of the action here at Road to Victory. Use the hashtag VCWRoad to share your thoughts on what we've seen so far. In our main event, we will crown a champion. It's Remy Lavey against Damian Chambes.
The Beastman still just,
oh my God!
Beastman can't be controlled here.
We're gonna try and restore some order. We're gonna try and stay on the air. We will be taking an intermission shortly, but don't go anywhere. We still have a tables match. After all this, there is still a tables match to come. Super Oprah returns, and it's Matthew Taylor versus Jimmy Shane in a career versus contract match. Well, we are back with Road to Victory Part 2, and we are about to see the return of the experience that is Super Oprah.
It's quite the experience, and Oprah has a tough test ahead against this man.
I gotta say, I see Benny Conley walk to the ring, the Panamanian poker, a really great competitor, but I look at this site and I go, Eamon, we like a really weird thing.
Very weird.
I'm Jason Heat, alongside my partner Eamon Payton, and we are bringing you Road to Victory, Victory Championship Wrestling's first appearance on pay-per-view on Fight TV. Thank you so much for joining us, and please use the hashtag VCWRoad to tell us what you think about the show, because boy, are you about to have an experience.
Experience is a light way to put it, Jason.
Super Oprah is an experience, more than a wrestler, more than a competitor.
That's very true. Very much more. Much, much more.
If you've never seen a Super Oprah, you are in for a surprise.
Quite a return for Super Oprah, who we haven't seen here at VCW since their match with Madman Fulton.
That's right, this is the return of Super Oprah after suffering an injury mid-match to the super dangerous Madman Fulton, sporting a brand new do and hoping for all the luck that comes with it. Super Oprah is here in McMecken once again.
It's great to see that Super Oprah sort of rebounding. I remember from that match with Madman Fulton, kind of made off with her original do.
It was a very, very scary, very rough scene when Super Oprah suffered a dramatic injury mid-match. We saw Madman Fulton in action. Have to imagine at some point revenge may be on the line and on the mind of Super Oprah. But in the meantime, right now, Oprah looks like Oprah just wants to have fun.
I mean, we've had some very unique matches so far here tonight at Road to Victory.
Nothing like this.
We have a Super Oprah, and we have a man known as the Panamanian Poker.
The reason that Benny Conley is known as the Panamanian Poker is for two reasons. One, he is from Panama. That makes sense. That tracks.
I would hope so.
Wearing the Panama flag. But known as the Poker because he is the double-digit danger. You see those wrapped fingers, those on the hands of a normal man, they are simply a digit, but in the hand and on the hand of Benny Conley, they are danger. This man pokes people in the eye is what I'm trying to say, and sometimes he pokes them in the eye with both fingers.
It's quite the strategy that Benny Conley implements. Nice treatment of our referee, who have already been through enough tonight.
Two fingers with the power of an international object, as they used to say. Oh no, the desecration by Super Oprah. No one wants that. Thrown to the crowd, nobody took it, unsurprisingly.
Well, Benny Conley, like you mentioned, the Panamanian poker, and calling him a phalange phenom.
The double-digit danger.
As Oprah soaking up the love here in McMecken. Always great to see Super Oprah back.
Not for Benny Conley. It's one thing to know you're going up against Super Oprah. It's another thing to experience the reality of Super Oprah, such that Super Oprah can be considered reality. Certainly Super Oprah makes me question my reality. Who am I? This is not my house. You are not my beautiful wife.
I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that to let that ride. But
usually it's a battle for titles, but tonight it's a battle for affection as Benny Conley and Super Oprah both trying to get the rallying of the crowd. Modern day Tinkerbells looking to be energized by this audience.
Modern day that's a great way to just talk about, to refer to a lot of pro wrestlers. But Super Oprah, inviting
quite an invitation.
Our official. I mean,
the official doing his job, making sure that, okay.
Can someone check on George Ross, please?
It is etiquette for professional wrestlers to always wash their gear. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject.
I've heard not many do.
It's a gross and dirty world we occupy.
But
Benny Conley now looking almost dismayed. I think the moment you find yourself across the ring from Super Oprah is the moment you question your life's decisions.
Very much so. I mean, Super Oprah looking to back that up. I mean,
big personality, bigger buns.
You think of, I was a big late 90s, 2000s fan of the Oprah Winfrey Show. I mean, weren't we all?
I was not.
Sadly, you missed out. But Super Oprah, a little bit more raunchy than I would say I remember Oprah Winfrey.
I will
back
say,
in her heyday.
Using the posterior as a defense against against Benny Conley is a great choice, because if your butt is to the front side of Benny Conley, he cannot get to your eyeballs.
Fair, it's all strategy.
It's playing defense. Butt-based defense here in McMecken, West Virginia. And the metacarpal monster has not even been able to get out the gate here.
I believe he's complaining that Oprah might have pulled some of the follicles on his lower region.
Yeah, I'm really...
I can't call... he's saying he pulled her butt hair. She pulled his butt hair.
Yeah.
Let's just cut it dry like that. I'm trying to be nice.
So,
I'm trying to be clean here for our big pay-per-view here on Fight TV.
I'm genuinely sorry that this is the position that I've been put in, but I have to inform you, in the commentary notes, we were told that Benny Conley is known for having a shaggy rug in the back, and
big hip attack. I'm out of this. Oh my God, Benny Conley.
I'll tell you, Benny Conley's out of it, out of the ring. He just got quaked out of the ring by those thunder thighs, like an earthquake here in McMecken. We've seen a flood, now we're seeing a natural disaster of an entirely different kind. This is set back U.S.-Panama relations by decades.
Conley really has to focus in here on trying to get some advantage here on Super Oprah.
He's got to go for the eyes.
But it's hard, like you mentioned, very hard to go for the eyes when Super Oprah's a little preoccupied with doing anything else.
And Benny Conley suckered in by the up there, up where, by Super Oprah. You get a chesticle.
That is quite the foreign object there.
Quite the door prize here by Super Oprah.
Oh, radiating off the chest of Benny Conley.
Capillaries exploding like fireworks inside the chest of Benny Conley. And now
looking at Irish whip Conley off. Barely stuck on it. There's the poke!
Retina Ravager with the first poke of the match.
Found his opening and now comes charging with a lariat. Takes Oprah off her feet, cover.
First attempted cover, and Benny Conley wants to get out of this as quickly as possible. Do not blame the man.
Conley looking to ground Super Oprah here. I think is his best option.
The pupil pugilist using an armbar to try and impose his will on the host with the most.
The chance of Oprah throughout here in McMecken. I dare to fathom what an unsuspecting person hearing this audience roar
The
term Oprah.
The cornea crippler looking to retain advantage. There we go. The ocular irritant has struck again. That is 2 eye pokes on the board.
Now Benny Conley gonna back Oprah into the corner with a big chop. I mean, you would think it'd be silly. Benny Conley's wanting, and I can't think of a better term, to poke his opponent's eyes, but honestly, very smart strategy on Benny Conley's part.
The metacarpal monster is pressing his advantage.
Irish whips off.
Ooh, short drop kick with a ton of power in those thighs as Benny Conley looking to put Super Oprah away, trying to cancel the reemergence of Super Oprah.
And now in full control of Oprah, now again just ranking down on that wrist.
It's been a 2-pronged strategy by Benny Conley. Fingers to the eyes and pulling back on this arm.
Oprah trying her best to fight up.
You can't fight if you're blind. I mean, you can, but
you can, but maybe not that well. Maybe you get some
it's not as effective. I've seen that.
Casualties of war, you could say.
I saw that blindfold match, and they couldn't do it very well.
Not really, not really. No one really thought that one through, but here's Super Oprah. Wow, what a lariat.
Benny Conley charging in as it looks like the eyes of Oprah are starting to regain their sight. Super Oprah with a super bulldog to the Panamanian poker.
Oprah starting to get in the driver's seat now. Question is, what can she pull out here?
Oprah looking to improve their rating here in VCW.
Oh, sleeper. Benny Conley trying to find some reprieve in the ropes, gets it.
Certainly, I know the few times I watched Oprah, certainly put me to sleep.
What is your issue with Oprah?
I was not a daytime talk show fan.
Well, Benny Conley. Just wiping out Benny Conley, and oh no. Oh, no.
Thick thighs for poking guys.
This will get you off TV.
No.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Benny Conley is stuck. There's a reason it's Super Oprah. Thighs of steel. You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't try and plug Super Oprah. I'm upset with myself. I'm
figures
upset
of Benny Conley being disabled here as Super Oprah.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Big splash!
Death from above. A lesson learned by Benny Conley. His fingers are phenomenal weapons for the eyes, and maybe he should stick to that particular target.
Paulie Kilpis shoved the hot dogs down DD Vice's throat tonight, and that's not the most awkward thing on this show. Congratulations, Super Oprah, on the victory.
I promise you, at this point, I'm the most awkward thing on this show.
Oh, jeez. But great to see Super Oprah back, rebounding off of the match with Madman Fulton.
Super Oprah making eyes with our camera person. Yikes. Sometimes you just say yikes, and you hope.
Sometimes that's all you can say.
You hope you move on to the next match. Super Oprah victorious in the return to VCW. I imagine some point, sometime, someday, we're going to see Super Oprah versus Madman Fulton, but now to something completely different as we have contract versus career. Jimmy Shane versus Matt Taylor. This is whiplash if I've ever seen it before, because there is no one who scares me more than Matthew Taylor.
You know, we talk about, you know, we had a lot of lighthearted fun in that last match. This is deathly serious between these two, between Jimmy Shane and Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor, if he wins tonight, Jimmy Shane is the newest disciple of his Church of the Guiding Light. But if Jimmy Shane can finally vanquish Matthew Taylor in this matchup, Matthew Taylor's gone from VCW. That dark cloud that's been over this company is out of here.
Matthew Taylor has insinuated himself into this community. We have no idea how many followers he has, but he has infiltrated the highest level of government power and structures in McMecken, West Virginia. He is a scary, dangerous person.
This is going to be an intense one, and high, like we mentioned, very high stakes in this contest that is really going to settle things between these two athletes. The hope is that Jimmy Shane, you know, no shame Jimmy Shane, can finally pull out that victory, can finally put away Matthew Taylor, but it's going to be a tough road for him.
We're going to go ahead and now take it to the ring as we have our contract versus career match. Taylor versus Shane, so much on the line. Use hashtag VCW Road to continue the conversation. So we're about to see the leader of the Church of the Guiding Light. Matthew Taylor had targeted Jimmy Shane on Taylor's arrival here in VCW, picking out Shane as an ideological opposite. At first, I thought it was just to target Jimmy Shane, just to hurt him, to prove, to make a lesson to other people, but now it's become personal.
Matthew Taylor with a microphone.
It's okay. I know you're scared. I know you're filthy, disgusting, educationless minds can't understand this. But I am here to love you. And no one has to resort to violence anymore, Jimmy Shane. So I'm going to give you one last chance, child. Come out here, lay down, let me beat you, and join me. We can just leave here, hand in hand, the way it should be.
What is Matthew Taylor thinking here?
Matthew Taylor cares about control. And Matthew Taylor truly believes that when he speaks, not only should we all listen, we should all obey. Jimmy Shane has put everything, he has bet everything on himself in this match, and he has put everything he believes in and everything he is on the line in this contest.
Jimmy Shane last month picked up the victory over Matthew Taylor after a surprise roll-up, but it was Matthew Taylor getting the last word and laying Jimmy Shane out thanks to the little help from his book of the Guiding Light.
Jimmy Shane wants Matthew Taylor out of VCW, so Matthew Taylor will quit playing games with his heart.
And I think, Jason, with this matchup set up the way it is, career versus contract, the stipulations being very explicit, in terms of what happens depending on who loses this, this might be the only way Matthew Taylor can get what he wants. No Shane, Jimmy Shane is not the type of person to conform and to, fold at the hands of Matthew Taylor. The only way Matthew Taylor can get what he wants is by force.
Let's make it very clear, the stipulation's on the line. If Jimmy Shane defeats Matthew Taylor any way, anyhow, does not matter the method, then Matthew Taylor is gone, excommunicated from VCW. But if Matthew Taylor does defeat Jimmy Shane, his contract with VCW goes to the Church of the Guiding Light, and Jimmy Shane must be subservient to Matthew Taylor.
And it looks like any hope Matthew Taylor had that Jimmy Shane was going to lay down is out the window. I wouldn't expect anything less from Jimmy Shane.
Matthew Taylor wants to control Jimmy Shane, wants to make an example out of him, own him, and break his spirit.
Look at him.
I don't want to.
Offering himself to Jimmy Shane in this way. Open-armed.
A New Age Messiah preaching a message of violent atonement.
Oh my! And just spitting whatever was in that bottle into the eyes of Jimmy Shane, and we're underway with this career versus contract match.
I guarantee you that was not holy water.
Ooh,
no shame, Jimmy Shane. The hits that just don't miss. Usually all here for having fun and getting it done. There's no fun tonight.
Jimmy Shane now sending Matthew Taylor reeling out onto the floor. You can see that a fire has been lit under Jimmy Shane. This is the most intense I've seen him so far here on VCW.
Jimmy Shane had one thing he wanted to know. He said, tell me why Matthew Taylor has targeted me.
Jimmy Shane, I mean, Matthew Taylor, we mentioned it in previous months, the fact that the people he seems to target, the people who would be likely to become part of the Church of the Guiding Light are people with very low self-esteem, people who don't have that self-confidence. And Jimmy Shane is not one of those people. Maybe in the sense that why he's pursued Jimmy Shane is the fact that many would view Jimmy Shane to be very unreachable.
Matthew Taylor wants to force Jimmy Shane to take the vow. Wants him branded as part of the Church of the Guiding Light. Considers Jimmy Shane to have committed an ethical breach by not becoming a part of the church, and now punishing Jimmy Shane into a loving submission, as Matthew Taylor would say.
Absolutely. I mean, the way he views love is so demented. But Matthew Taylor, now what has he got? He's got a bucket of tools here that we have under the ring for construction of our ring, but what does Matthew Taylor have rolling around in that sick, twisted mind of his?
Matthew Taylor has Jimmy Shane prone, completely at his mercy, and there is no sense of mercy in Matthew Taylor.
Okay, that smile is just absolutely demented.
A sick smile of satisfaction being given to our official. Still proselytizing to Jimmy Shane, even as he hurts him.
And I'm going to roll Jimmy back into the ring.
Jimmy Shane so deceptively agile and athletic if Shane is able to get on a roll.
And now, and I think he's got a pair of pliers he's taking to our turnbuckle.
Matthew Taylor taking apart the ring, and Jimmy Shane rolling up Taylor.
Oh, shot right to the gut of Jimmy Shane. Matthew Taylor in full control here, and now, gonna send him right into the ring post.
Forcing Jimmy Shane to go wherever Taylor directs him.
And now back to his handiwork here, whatever he has in mind with this ring, this turnbuckle. Just, Jimmy, should I say Matthew Taylor, his mind is just absolutely, he plans out everything. He is so laser focused on anything he does to try to, either get a victory in a matchup or to manipulate another person.
Tactical, manipulative, the exact opposite of Jimmy Shane. Jimmy Shane stands for radical positivity and aggressive acceptance. Has said that he is the bully beast. And in so many ways, there is no bigger bully than someone who tries to use religion against others And we are seeing the Bronco Buster by Jimmy Shane onto Matthew Taylor.
Matthew Taylor now reeling. Oh, but drop toe hold right into the middle rope.
Matthew Taylor coming round the bend.
And a kick right to the top of the head.
Matthew Taylor always seeking converts. Ever since he moved into town, I've heard more and more people preach the gospel of the guiding light. As Matthew Taylor came just a second away from having a brand new convert to his system.
Matthew Taylor now wrenching in the side headlock, but the defiant no of Jimmy Shane, saying no, he will not give up. No, he will not bend the knee to Matthew Taylor. And his disillusion of what love and respect is.
Matthew Taylor willing to beat you into submission, saying that Shane should take his hand and walk with him into the promised land.
Oh, and just smashing that hand right into the mat. And going for the foot now. The way that he just is picking apart at Jimmy Shane, every limb. And oh, you can see the anguish in Jimmy Shane's face as Matthew Taylor steps on that ankle.
If you believe that Matthew Taylor has the interest of anyone other than Matthew Taylor at heart, I got a timeshare on Jupiter to sell you.
And now just choking him. Referee having to get in between this and try to, focus Matthew Taylor out of these devices.
Has totally upended the game of Jimmy Shane, has Matthew Taylor. Usually Jimmy Shane all about wiggling hips and picking up chicks. But unfortunately, so far, Matthew Taylor has not allowed any kind of rocking and rolling by Jimmy Shane. And now having that, what is that, that tool pulled out of his hand.
And now Jimmy Shane trying to fight back. I think Matthew Taylor taking a little too long and being a little too outerly focused with these devices. He's allowing Jimmy Shane time to recover. And now Jimmy Shane with a hold of Matthew Taylor.
We know Jimmy Shane, a huge fan of the Backstreet Boys. He said to me he is going to show Matthew Taylor the meaning of being lonely because Matthew Taylor is not going to go home with a new convert tonight.
Oh, Jimmy Shane able to get the knees up, create some separation, and a big clubbering shot right to the top of Matthew Taylor's head.
It's a different band, but the same genre. Jimmy Shane wants to make Matthew Taylor go bye, bye, bye. Only two.
Matthew Taylor, his career in VCW is almost over in that moment, but Jimmy Shane cannot get unfocused. He has to stay on top of Matthew Taylor.
Can't afford to get distracted. So much on the line for both of these men. This rivalry has defined the last year of their lives. This could be the final chance they have to lay hands upon each other with great and furious violence. Jimmy Shane
hits the Uranagi hook of the leg cover. This could be it.
Went for the most convenient pinfall, but in doing so, by hooking the near leg, was unable to get pressure over the full body of Matthew Taylor that may unfortunately have cost Jimmy Shane.
That's such a good point, Jason. Sometimes when you're so focused, and particularly in this case where there's so much animosity that Jimmy Shane has built, and you don't think of things like that.
The cover, it's so simple, but it's always a matter of a choice. It's time versus pressure. If you're not in the ideal situation, do you try and get full body coverage, or do you just get where you need to go? Matthew Taylor spiked Jimmy Shane in the back of the head.
No! Only two! Jimmy Shane just able to get the shoulder up.
Matthew Taylor questioning his God himself in this moment as we see that coat coming off, needing to get a little bit of breathing room, trying to get some focus, trying to look for some guidance.
And telling the audience that, he was pacing. He's losing control here. Could he be losing control of his...
He demands obedience from his followers. He's so used to his alleged cult-like group following his every move, his every word. He's not used to code red by Jimmy Shane.
Jimmy Shane flipping pile driver. Can he get the cover? Can he send Matthew Taylor out of VCW?
Matthew Taylor at the last moment gets the foot on the ropes. I thought for sure we were rid of the blight that was the Church of the Guiding Light.
That was so close. If Jimmy Shane just had a little better understanding of where he was positioned in the ring, that could have been the difference maker.
Jimmy Shane fighting for his life. I cannot imagine what someone like Jimmy Shane would do, forced forced to be under the thumb of Matthew Taylor in that puritanical system, unable to express his love and individuality.
Oh! Jimmy Shane tried to get a waistlock there, and I think Taylor... Oh! He pulled off the turnbuckle pad!
Jimmy Shane's
not
head
like
hit the
this!
steel!
Not like this!
Matthew Taylor just beat Jimmy Shane. He owns the man's soul.
Oh my God. Matthew Taylor, I mean, the focus on that turnbuckle, you know, we thought was short-sighted at the time, but it really came to fruition. I think Taylor had the plan all along. And now Jimmy Shane forced into the Church of the Guiding Light.
It's a double tragedy. Not only is Matthew Taylor sticking around VCW for the foreseeable future and maybe the long haul, but everything that made Jimmy Shane who he is, everything that defines Jimmy Shane is about to be taken away from him in an instant. His sense of self, his sense of purpose, his sense of love and acceptance. He is now bonded body and soul to Matthew Taylor.
Look at, you heard what Matthew Taylor said, I own you. And Jimmy Shane, I mean, obviously distraught, but...
As close to servitude as is still allowed, the career of Jimmy Shane is now owned by Matthew Taylor.
I mean, what a sad place that Jimmy Shane is in now, because
you can force someone to follow what you tell them, but you cannot force faith on a man. And Jimmy Shane, no time to even process what he's lost. All Matthew Taylor believes in is shame. The infliction of shame as a weapon, and now he finds himself in the loving embrace of Matthew Taylor.
I mean, this is just sick, Jason.
It's a sad and dark day here in McMecken, West Virginia. He calls himself the Church of the Guiding Light, but as far as I can see, all that Matthew Taylor does is block out the sun and the goodness in other people.
Matthew Taylor's got his disciple. He's got what he wants. He's got Jimmy Shane's soul, as you said.
Matthew Taylor has his hooks in Jimmy Shane. VCW is not going to be the same. Dark days are ahead here in McMecken, West Virginia.
I mean, if we thought Matthew Taylor was bad before, if we thought his reign of terror was bad before, I can't imagine.
Matthew Taylor just won an incredible asset in his war against decency and free thought. And I hate to imagine what is about to happen to Jimmy Shane behind that curtain. I have no idea what kind of initiation he is about to endure. Jimmy Shane apologizing. Jimmy, I'm sorry for you, my friend. It's about to get worse before it gets better for Jimmy Shane, as we now have a battle for the future of VCW. Two of the top prospects in the region, Colton Quinn and Jake Ely, go one-on-one. These two men could represent the next generation of wrestlers here in West Virginia.
Colton Quinn really looking to cement his name in singles competition here in VCW. And then you have Jake Ely, someone who is, you know, recovering, in a sense, from the dissolution of the Deplorables.
That's right. Jake Ely was 1/4 of the Deplorables. Now we're about to see him in singles action on his own for the first time here in VCW. The mite that thinks he's a man, a giant in his own mind, the living leprechaun, Jake Ely.
I mean, we had a Bearcat on the pre-show, and now we got the Thunderbird. It speaks to what Jake Ely thinks of himself in that ring, and while he may be very talented, you know, there's a lot that Jake Ely.
I don't know that Jake Ely is old enough to drink, to be honest.
That's a good question.
I think we could get in a lot of trouble. Put that back.
I didn't think we would need to cart him at the door. But Jake Ely, like we mentioned, rebounding from the dissolution of the Deplorables. I mean, Patrick Hayes walked out on him in that tag team match a few months ago.
Have to wonder, having seen the fight between his uncle Wilbur Whitlock and his longtime, almost other uncle Patrick Hayes, where Jake Ely stands in that battle, though he has to focus against this young man, the top prospect to watch. A rookie who has achieved unlikely upset wins in tag team competition and proved to be a surprising test to Nathan Aulridge. Management sees big, big things in Colton Quinn.
And I as well. I mean, Colton Quinn last month put up a really good fight against Nathan Aulridge. I think he was just outpaced in terms of Aulridge's tenure in professional wrestling. You know, Colton Quinn has all the makings of a star. You know, he just needs the years, he just needs the reps in him.
I've been told by Nicholas West that our commissioner has made Colton Quinn a personal project for him. He has seen so many people like Jake Ely work their way into this company through nepotism, work their way into this company through nefarious means, and he wanted to make sure he provided one young rookie an opportunity to really earn their spot here in VCW. Jake Ely, why did I just see that much of his tongue?
Nah, put that back, please. But you make such a good point in terms of, you know, Colton Quinn having the right attitude, I think, as well. I think that's what also impresses Commissioner Nicholas West.
Colton Quinn has got a great head on his shoulders. Jake Ely, absolutely delusional. That man legitimately thinks that he is 7 foot tall. Jake Ely thinks he is a giant.
And when he doesn't tower over someone like Colton Quinn, that says something. Because Colton Quinn, maybe not the biggest dog in the yard, so to speak.
Towers over Jake Ely, though, the size discrepancy, but you'd never know it with the way that Jake Ely fights.
Now, collar elbow tie up here.
And apparently, Jake Ely has anointed himself the official monarch of the Headlock Kingdom.
He has more titles than Benny Conley. But Colton Quinn, not going to get intimidated by somebody like Jake Ely.
No, Colton Quinn went toe-to-toe with someone as cantankerous and ornery as no good Nathan Aulridge. Not going to cow in fear to Jake Ely, the Thunderbird, who does bring incredible electricity to the ring. I see a lot in Jake Ely to like.
He's very wily. It's kind of hard to catch him. It's kind of hard to predict what Jake Ely is going to do in that ring. But like you mentioned before, many considered Jake Ely to be a bit of a nepotism hire when it came to the Deplorables. And so now with it dissolved, he's got a chance to really maybe prove himself.
Yeah, the question is, can Jake Ely stand on his own feet amidst a very crowded roster? Short drop kick catches the midsection of Jake Ely, and Colton Quinn now looking to roll into a stunner.
Nicely done the way he just drove Jake Ely right into his shoulder cover. Oh, but too close to that bottom rope is Jake Ely, breaking the plane, and Colton Quinn not able to capitalize off of such momentum, and maybe that's the inexperience of Colton Quinn.
That's the wisdom that comes from being in the ring, and Jake Ely does have experience that belies his years. He has been brought up and taught professional wrestling by men like Wilbur Whitlock, Nathan Aulridge, and Patrick Hayes, as we're seeing here, about to make short work of Colton Quinn. You can't trade that kind of mentorship from the world. Those are terrible people. All three men that I mentioned, bad men, but great professional wrestlers.
Well, you see a lot of, particularly of Patrick Hayes' influence, I would say, in Jake Ely, in the way that he is just picking apart here on Colton Quinn. And you know, we talked in the match with Zeke Mercer earlier about how Patrick Hayes really just loved to dish out punishment more than anything. And we're seeing that right now with Colton Quinn.
Patrick Hayes was the one responsible for the dissolution of the Deplorables by walking out on Jake Ely. One has to wonder, does Jake Ely have something to prove here? Not just to himself, not to VCW management, certainly not to the fans, but does he want to prove something to Patrick Hayes, to Wilbur Whitlock, to Nathan Aulridge, and say, hey, I wasn't the weak link of the Deplorables. You should respect me. I've earned my spot here.
Now that I think about it, if anything, of what we saw earlier tonight between Patrick Hayes and Wilbur Whitlock. Knowing Jake Ely, he's probably flying high into this matchup thinking, maybe I wasn't the problem.
Great offense by Jake Ely, the Thunderbird, rocking and rolling against Colton Quinn, proving he can go up against a man of any size and not only survive, but thrive in the ring against them.
And now Jake Ely, ooh, just clubbering shots.
Hard hitting fists by Jake Ely.
As small as he is, he can really pack a punch in that ring. And that's a credit to that mentorship and his ability to just dish out violence.
What a crazy look in the eyes of Jake Ely, who has become absolutely unhinged in the dissolution of the Deplorables. Somehow maybe those three men was keeping this guy with even just a bit of tether to his sanity.
Colton Quinn getting rocked here by these shots by Jake Ely. And now gonna bring him back up to his feet.
Looking to apply the kill switch to Colton Quinn, and Colton Quinn able to reverse.
Oh! Version of the Shiranu was able to catch Colton Quinn on the back end, but only a 2 count.
Note how he was able to get was Jake Ely that knuckle lock on both hands in the cover. Great job trying to limit the mobility, make it even harder for Quinn to kick out.
Jake Ely, though, the frustration starting to set in. And this is where, competitors.
Just whacked Colton Quinn right in the nose. That really hurts your circulation. Colton Quinn barely, you see the tears starting to well up in the eyes of Colton Quinn. You can't breathe, you can't see. So much damage done in an instant with that forearm.
And Colton Quinn, who prides himself on his athleticism as well. It makes it that much harder.
These are the kind of tests that make a man. These are the kind of battles and challenges you have to face in order to succeed in professional wrestling.
Thinking that stunner again. Jake Ely, look at him. He's got him positioned for that kill switch.
Looking to ride the lightning straight to victory.
Sunset flip roll through.
Great positioning of the leg.
Oh, he got it!
Colton Quinn defeats Jake Ely in one of the highest profile matches of his young career.
The way that Colton Quinn was just able to catch Jake Ely off guard, enough to secure that pinfall. Great wherewithal by Colton Quinn, and like you mentioned, I think a very big win for him here against Jake Ely. And Jake Ely, very dejected. He's gonna have to take things back to the locker room and refocus his mindset if he wants to be back on the winning ways in VCW.
And Jake Ely almost extending a hand to Colton Quinn, trying to show a sign of honor and respect to Colton Quinn. This is very different than what we've ever seen out of Jake Ely. Maybe Jake Ely sees an ally. Maybe he sees an equal in Colton Quinn. Maybe this is a new direction. Nope.
Oh, God!
What a jerk.
God forbid we think someone bring the best of themselves into this contest and leave like a competitor.
Nope, not when you can just kick him right in the groin.
Colton Quinn,
May not
still
look
your
like
victor.
Yeah, may not look like the winner, but he is actually the victor of the match.
Jake Ely, still as cocky, still as boisterous as ever, even in defeat. But, Jason, we're not far off from our semi-main event for the evening.
Two men, at minimum, are about to go through a table. It has been a tale as old as time. Boy meets dinosaur. Boys love dinosaur. Alleged mafia murdered dinosaur. And now we have to put people through a table. I heard about it first in the Bible.
Could this be the Rad Boys' opportunity to gain that much-needed revenge that they've been seeking from the Wise Guys? Or are the Wise Guys finally going to make the Rad Boys sleep with the fishes?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the following tag team match, the only way to win is to put both members of the opposing team through a table.
As we prepare for this tag team tables matchup, you mentioned it, Jason, but the anger
I got to tell you a tale. Eamon. As soon as Adam Montgomery introduces the Wise Guys, I have to tell you a sad, sad story about the day my heart broke. Eamon, once a long time ago, actually not that long ago, there was a dinosaur. One last dinosaur that roamed the earth, and he was a radical dinosaur named Rad Rex, and he was my friend. He taught me. He was a mentor to me here at the booth. He used to give me notes on the matches. He used to tell me what he thought of him, and then one day he was no more. And I was assured that cement boots were attached to his scaly claws and that he was dumped in a tar pit somewhere off the road, off the highway. And it was because of these men, these wise guys, that my friend sleeps in a tar pit in the land before time at the end of the lost world.
A tragic tale that the Wise Guys, led by Ripper Blackheart, executed on Rad Rex. And since that moment, the Rad Boys have been dying to get their hands and to exact sweet revenge on Gino DiCapo and Tommy Irish.
There are only two men that loved Rad Rex more than me, and they're banging Jake Wiley, all that Braden Elliott, the Rad Boys, the Cowabunga kids, and they are about to kick some serious mafioso ass. They are chugging energy drinks. They are there's no Ritalin in them tonight. There's no focus. They're going hard. They're going to go all that.
They've said it. That originally, this may have been about asserting themselves as the best tag team in VCW, but no more. Now it's just personal.
This is about answering the extinction of a species. This is about the death of a friend. This is about the death of a dream. This is about the death of childhood. This is Rad Boys versus Wise Guys.
The war paint dresses Braden Elliott and Jake Wiley.
You see the tattoo that says family, the tattoo that says family on the chest of all that Braden Elliott. You know, that's what Rad Rex was to them, family. There's nothing more important than family. There's nothing more important than a boy and his other boy and his dinosaur.
This is a collision we have been waiting for.
In the suspenders, well, they're both wearing suspenders. It's a fashion disaster here.
Ripper Blackheart going sleeveless was quite the choice, I would say.
The taller man with the long locks and the ponytail is brutal Tommy Irish. Next to him, the boss, Gino DiCapo. On the outside is the evil genius of professional wrestling, Ripper Blackheart. They are destroyers of dreams, but they have stakes so high because any time that they lose a match, they risk sleeping with the fishes. There is no such thing as loss in the family, allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.
Here we go. Both teams trading blows now in the early goings of this.
There's no tags in this match. If you're familiar with the Tornado Tag Team match, this is very similar, except instead of ending by pinfall or submission, there's only one way this match can end. Two members of the same team both have to be put through a table, and not just go through a table, but put through it offensively.
And now they're not wasting any time, the Wise Guys are. Going to head to the outside of the ring. Now, it was actually the Rad Boys who picked up a victory in a 2 out of 3 falls match against the Wise Guys, but that was thanks to the Wise Guys intentionally getting themselves disqualified and on 2 straight occasions putting Braden Elliott and putting Jake Wiley through tables. Now,
the 6th and 7th men in this match, those tables, and that does not count. That table did break, but no one went through the table. We have our first casualty in this match, and it is, well, it's our furniture budget.
Great move there by Braden Elliott to just drive that table into the face, though, of Gino DiCapo and Tommy Irish. And now he's got Gino hooked up. What is he thinking? Through the remnants of that table, maybe. Gino, the big man, fighting free over the much smaller Braden Elliott.
Braden Elliott looking to try and fight back, hammering the gut of the made man, Gino DiCapo, the boss. And now we see his right-hand man, brutal Tommy Irish, laying blows across the back of banging Jake Wiley.
Now, Tommy Irish now looking to set up a table out here on the floor.
How long do you think it takes for the energy drink to kick in?
That's a good question. I don't know the science behind it necessarily, but
I think in a few moments we are going to see if these Rad Boys can live and survive long enough. I think you are going to see a flurry of energy, the likes of which you have never seen since an ADHD kid's birthday party.
the Rad Boys always full of energy, always full of excitement, but I think what happens when you mix that with anger, with frustration, with a goal of vengeance.
We are going to see these two wise guys have been genuinely impressive. They're such athletic big men, but no one matches the athleticism of the Rad Boys. To put it simply, these two have got guts.
Oh! Charging shots in the corner here on the Wise guys. This is what Braden Elliott and Jake Wiley need to do. They need to stick and move. They got to move fast because Gino DiCapo and Tommy Irish are just going to power these two men if they let them.
A meeting of the minds, as in any other circumstance, this will be a fantastic opportunity. And now shades of my favorite tag team, the Motor City Machine Guns, who have to be considered an inspiration for the Rad Boys.
Now, the question is, if they can get one of the Rad Boys through a table. Oh, wait, Ripper Blackheart blocking the table on the outside.
Ripper Blackheart inserting himself into this match. It was Ripper Blackheart who disguised himself as Rad Rex, who committed the hoax of the century, the hoax of this era, as he impersonated my friend Rad Rex, and we still have not seen hide, well, there's no hair, hide nor scale of Rad Rex since that moment.
I mean, and we've talked about it before about how Tommy Irish and Gino DiCapo, what they do in that ring, largely in part, it's just to not face punishment from the higher ups. Oh!
Big side slam followed by a senton. These two, they're so effective. It's almost crazy to say that they're smooth, but they just work so well together. It's simple, it's effective, it's smart tag team wrestling. You have to assume the winner of this match is putting themselves in great contention for a future tag team title shot, as once we crown our first VCW champion here in our main event, we are having tag team titles coming in 2023.
And I gotta think the Wise guys have to be on the top of the list in terms of favorites for those titles. They have been on such a roll as of late. That scary mix of power and athleticism.
I would say at this point, top three teams in VCW. You're seeing two of them right now. The Rad Boys, you're seeing the Wise guys, and then God, I hate to say it, but Saturday Night Special.
I mean, the tag team ranks across the board here in VCW have just gotten amazing. The competition is just at its highest level. We've seen it in terms of the lead up to what we're going to see in our main event tonight between Remy Lavey and Damian Chambes. But there is no better place than VCW right now in terms of competition. Oh, wait, they're taking...
And at the last possible moment, Braden Elliott saving his partner, banging Jake Wiley from going straight through that table. And remember, you have to put both members of the opposing team through a table in order to win. So you are going to see a demolition derby of a destruction here in this match. No bait and switch, no promise and not deliver. You're going to see some furniture fly.
But it was very smart thinking there by Braden Elliott. He almost was down one competitor in this contest, and you've got to also be not just thinking about putting your opponent through a table. You've got to be looking out for your partner.
Both of the Wise guys tower, absolutely overpower the Rad Boys, and now in a terrible position is Braden Elliott, who's trying to hold on to those stairs for dear life.
This has just been a complete night of destruction, I would say, here at Road to Victory.
In general, yeah, absolutely.
And now, oh my God, what are they thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be a power slam through a table. I think it's going to be 1-0 unless banging Jake Wiley is able to save Braden Elliott, who looks completely out on his feet.
Braden trying to get his wits about him. as the Wise guys now going back in for some more action, but the Rad Boys gonna try to get some advantage here on these men who have just tormented them.
Just pushing both members of the Rad Boys into each other, and now friendly fire by the family as brutal Tommy Irish, clearly the only one standing tall left from the Wise guys.
Oh, what is this? Jake Wiley. Oh, sends Tommy Irish and all of his weight down onto Gino DiCapo.
Just squashing the skull of the made man, and that could be a real game changer here in this tables match. The only issue the Rad Boys face is every time they knock the Wise guys down, then they have to expend all that energy lifting them back up to get in position to be able to go through a table. Hopefully they can actually drape one of the men across a table with the move so they don't have to expend that extra energy and take that time in the future.
Now it's just a pile up here right now in the corner between these four men. This is almost turning into a hockey fight. And now, Wise guys, oh, Tommy Irish almost getting sent off in the table. Braden Elliott able to block. Oh!
And there we go. Score is 1-0. Rad Boys are up.
Tommy Irish went crashing through that table and it burst into smithereens. And now 2-on-1 here. Can the Rad Boys put away Gino DiCapo?
It's so much easier. It's so much easier to continue an advantage than it is to come from behind. This one really looks like it is in the sights of the Rad Boys. We might be speaking about the legend of the Rad Boys Temple going forward.
And now looking to set up a table here and possibly secure this retribution that they've been wanting.
Rad Boys want to show that they are not wrestling Rugrats. No, they are grown-ass men, and they can defeat the Wise guys in the most brutal match possible. Now we see trying to position Gino DiCapo on top of that table as Bang and Jake Wiley is ready and waiting.
What could Wiley be thinking?
That is dangerous positioning. If Jake Wiley decides to attack right now, it could break the sternum.
Oh, wait a second. Whipper Blackheart with the foot of Jake Wiley.
He calls himself the evil genius of Rad Rex!
What?
Rad Rex! Rad Rex! Rad Rex!
He's been...
Is it real? Is it true? Is it you?
Oh my God! Ripper Blackheart through the table!
The dinosaur is back! Dreams come true, and McMecken, no, we need to celebrate!
Oh, wait, no, Gino DiCapo getting up off that table and sending Braden Elliott into Jake Wiley. Oh no!
But the table didn't break! The world!
And
everyone knows this is the night for the Rad Boys!
Oh my God! Just absolutely
Rad
brutal.
Rex is the table! You cannot defeat the Rad Boys when Rad Rex is here! He is the table!
Gino DiCapo. Oh my Lord!
They are invincible! They are invincible! You know, the energy drink has kicked in. Invincibility has landed. There is absolutely no chance. There's no shot. They got the star in Mario. They're completely invulnerable. This is the Rad Boys all day, all night.
And now, Jake Wiley.
Put him through. Put him through.
Jason is standing in ovation.
How can you not? For Rad Rex. For Rad Rex. Unbelievable. Someone get me the brand of that table. I'm buying 40 of them.
Braden Elliott.
The strongest table in professional wrestling. The John Cena of tables. The Undertaker of tables. The man, the myth, the table.
I gotta agree with you, Jason. It's the power of Rad Rex. His innate, just energy.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a professional wrestler. I'm not a wrestler. I've never been in the ring, but I implore them, maybe the strategy is get another table.
Jake Wiley.
Just get another table. And we have it. We have it.
The Rad Boyz and Rad Rex stand tall here in McMecken.
There are 4 winners in this match. Their names are Bangin' Jake Wiley, All That Braden Elliott, Rad Rex, and that friggin' table.
The Rad Boyz can hang their heads high.
Wherever Rad Rex has been, wherever he's been licking his wounds and recuperating, the dinosaur is back. The Cowabunga kids are victorious. And what an incredible marvel of human architecture and engineering. That is the platonic ideal of table. We see Rad Rex celebrating in the back. We promised a demolition derby. We promised destruction. All that and a dinosaur. What more do you want from professional wrestling?
I haven't seen you getting this excited in a long time, Jason.
I thought I couldn't feel happy anymore. I truly thought that this part of me was lost.
And they embrace in unity the Rad Boyz
I'll
and
be right
Rad
back.
Rex.
I'll be right back.
Stories do have happy endings, folks.
He's back! He's back!
I mean, I would have loved to. I mean, I only got a Kilpis hug last show. I would have loved a Rad Rex hug. But besides the point, folks, I mean, what a wild night we've had so far here.
We still have a main event. We're going to crown a champion.
It's a big main event that we have in store soon between Remy Lavey, Damian Chambes. One man will become VCW heavyweight champion. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore, Jason.
Remy Lavey, the mind eraser, has crafted a road to victory. But all that stands in his way is the heart and soul of this promotion. Damian Chambes, he says the world only makes sense when you force it. He has no problem forcing his will down Remy Lavey's throat en route to becoming a champion. Damian Chambes was embroiled early on in this year with a war against Tanner Reynolds. Later, after that, he helped Team Beast win that War Games match, qualified for the tournament, and then was injured. We didn't even know whether or not Damian Chambes would be able to attend.
As we see Kilpis still.
Along with Commissioner Nick West, we're going to hear what they have to say before our big main event for the evening. We know it's going to be Kilpis and his partner Gannon Green in the main event of our next event in January, going up against Saturday Night Special in an I Quit tag team match.
We want to thank everyone at the Salvation Army as Kilpis gets some donations. Obviously a great holiday season we have here in McMecken, and we're glad that VCW could be a part of it.
We want to support our community. We want to support. Thank you so much for supporting VCW. This has been a labor of love for all of us for a year. Please use hashtag VCW Road. This is the end of the year, the first year for Victory Championship Wrestling. I'm thankful you've joined us, Eamon. I'm thankful that all of you are here listening to us. I'm thankful that Rad Rex is back. What are you hoping for 2023 for VCW?
I mean, there is so much great competition that we've seen in this company. We've seen it all tonight. throughout this match. Obviously, we mentioned the crowning of the first VCW Heavyweight Champion. We know the Tag Team Championships won't be far behind. I mean, this is the place to be, I would say, if you want great professional wrestling. There are so many top-level competitors in this company that are willing to make a name for themselves, willing to put their bodies on the line, willing to be the future stars of professional wrestling.
If you're enjoying the show, please come join us. Please let Fight TV know you're having a blast. They should continue to have us. Thanks for watching us on pay-per-view. We still got our main event coming up. Damian Chambes and Remy Lavey, the mind eraser against the heart and soul.
And make sure to hashtag all your tweets, all your Instagram posts, anything you do on social media talking about tonight's event, hashtag VCW Road. We're so glad that you can join us here on Fight TV.
Yeah, if you're just joining us now, let's recap what we have seen so far. It was Remy Lavey besting Madman, Fulton, Andrew Palace, and Cowpoke Paul en route to this main event match. And then Damian Chambes had to survive Nathan Aulridge, Izzy, Lambert, and Kincaid, the submission sorcerer. And that has led us to this moment, this cataclysmic collision between Lavey and Chambes.
And also so great to see Paulie Kilpis back, because what about that collision between Saturday Night Special and Mount Kilpis that went all over the building here tonight? And now we know that going into our next event in February, these two teams will collide one last time in an I Quit match, with the losing team separating for good. That was a really high stakes show.
That's correct. At that show, at that event in January, we might see the end of Saturday Night Special. There will be no more Jaeger bombs and searching for hot moms, or Gannon Green and Paulie Kilpis will be forced to separate. A genuine question. Paulie Kilpis was found in the wild by Gannon Green and then trained, raised to be a pro wrestler. If the two of them split, what in God's green earth happens to Paulie Kilpis?
I never really thought about it.
I don't think that man has a social security card. I don't think that man, does
he have a home?
No, he ceases to exist if that tag team breaks up.
I mean, those are even higher stakes at that point. But we also had Patrick Hayes picking up the victory tonight against Zeke Mercer. We're hoping the best for Zeke Mercer after all he went through with that knee in that matchup.
We saw the one-of-a-kind experience that was Benny Conley versus Super Oprah.
Never going to forget that.
Nope. Gonna try. Gonna drink a lot. Gonna try real hard.
And then, of course, sadly what happened with Jimmy Shane, now a member of the Church of the Guiding Light against his own will.
Yeah, that is, there's nothing funny about that. That is really deeply upsetting.
And then some more great action with Colton Quinn picking up the victory. The Rad Boys finally getting their revenge. Such a sweet moment with Rad Rex. And we are about to get underway with our main event of the night for the VCW Heavyweight Championship. The first champion will be crowned here tonight. Will it be the mind eraser Remy Lavey, or will it be the heart and soul of VCW and Damian Chambes?
The name on the marquee is professional wrestling, and we are about to find out who is the best professional wrestler in VCW.
I mean, looking at these two men, I could see either of them champion. I find it so hard to bet against somebody like Damian Chambes, who has every aspect of him, distilled into what a pro wrestler needs to be. The heart, the determination, the athletic ability.
The willpower, everything he has ever had, Damian Chambes has earned. He is willing to fight and work and earn for it at every time. Remy Lavey is not above taking the easy way out, and of course the intangibles. We saw the Origin in action on our pre-show. You can check that out on YouTube. Malachi Gage and Kristen Noir were victorious. We did not see them in that match earlier accompanying Remy Lavey, but if you think they're not going to make their presence known, I'm sorry, I don't think you've ever watched pro wrestling before.
I think that's the key with Remy Lavey, and Damian Chambes needs to be aware of that.
And also, if this is your first time watching pro wrestling, thank you. We're so glad to have you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us, and all wrestling fan or not.
It's totally possible that the Origin won't interfere in this match. I mean, I've seen Remy Lavey. I've seen how he operates. There's a reason he associates with these two. They've cost Izzy Lambert before. If I am Damian Chambes, I know going in, this is a 3-on-1 situation.
You have to. As we're about to cut up to the ring, and it's main event time for the VCW Heavyweight Championship. Stay tuned, because we're about to make history.
Damian Chambes versus Remy Lavey in our main event here at McMecken, West Virginia. Our final show of the year, our very first year in operation.
This is your VCW Bronze for Victory main
Commissioner Nicholas West making his way with that beautiful green and gold VCW championship. So excited to present this belt to you. Absolute beauty. Our colors of VCW.
One man, you know, will be in the history books. Championships come and go, but you will always be the first champion if you can secure a victory in this matchup.
You only get one chance to be the first at anything. Remy Lavey and Damian Chambes have both been making names for themselves here in West Virginia, in Ohio, in Pittsburgh. These two have been circling each other for a long time, and they are about to collide one-on-one in this match.
And think about the fact that it's been really a year in the making here in terms of crowning this first champion. When you look back at our very first ever event until now.
Commissioner Nick West representing the country spirit of West Virginia in our customary flannel here. That's the finery of West Virginia as Remy Lavey, as we guessed, flanked by Malachi Gage and Christian Noir.
And to me, that signals one thing to Damian Chambes. Never take your eye off the ball.
Damian Chambes never does take his eye off the ball. The question is that will enough? This is a 3-on-1 handicap, make no mistake about it. I don't care what they say. I don't care what it's labeled as. This is 100% a disadvantage to Damian Chambes.
Remy Lavey, an 11-year wrestling career, as we mentioned before, is ready to make his moment, is ready to cement himself.
Remy Lavey has been chasing something. He has been chasing his moment. He has been chasing being the man. And I imagine there's been a lot of jealousy that's been brewing for this man, Damian Chambes, because this thing that Remy Lavey's been chasing, I think Damian Chambes just is. Damian Chambes is the guy. I mean, look at him. Feel him, experience him. This is a superstar. This is going to be the future, the present of professional wrestling, and it could all start here tonight. You could be here and say, I was there when Damian Chambes became the guy.
And maybe that's also what Damian Chambes is thinking going into a matchup like this. Remy Lavey has been such a mainstay in this area for so many years. And Remy has talked about how he's earned this, how he has waited too long to get to this point, and maybe Damian Chambes is going to tell him tonight, it's not yours, it's mine.
It is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse St. Clairsville, and the winner will be crowned the very first Victory Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. With the bell rings, the man in charge, VCW Senior Official, Mr. Josh Shield. Introducing first, being accompanied at a ringside by Malachi Gage and Christian Noir, representing the Origin from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Weighing 220 pounds, the minor racer, Remy Lavey. And his opponent, from Columbus, Ohio, weighing an even 200 pounds, Damian Chambes.
Under almost any circumstance, Damian Chambes would be my favorite in this match, but he has two disadvantages walking into this contest. One is obvious. The Origin is outside. You see Christian Noir. You see Malachi Gage. That is very simple. Invisible, Damian Chambes is walking into this match almost guaranteed not at 100%. He already missed one of our cards due to injury. He worked into overdrive to get back into shape for this match, but knowing Damian Chambes, he'd be here if he wasn't 100%. I don't think he is.
You make such a good point. It's one thing to come back and try to remount yourself in competition, coming back from an injury in one match. But the fact that he's already wrestled tonight, and against 3 other top-level competitors in this company, That can't set well for Damian Chambers. But if there's anybody, I think, to defy those odds that are being put against him, it would be him.
Damian Chambers extended the hand of clean competition, and unsurprisingly, it was rebuffed by Remy Lavey.
Remy, look at him just stalking and eyeing up. He hasn't taken his eyes off Damian Chambers.
Remy Lavey has said he's waited too long to be overlooked yet again. We have seen Remy Lavey. Remy Lavey's been a side character in a lot of acts. He's been a supporting player for the glory of others. Most recently, we've seen him as a member of the Culmination at the side of Jason Gorey. And finally, Remy Lavey got tired and created his own group. He got the chance to be a leader, and now he is the engineer of the Origin. It has all led up to this moment.
And whether his mechanisms, whether the way he goes about trying to forge his path here in VCW, you can dispute those, you can critique them all you want. But I would say the motivation behind them that you just described speaks to a lot. Some people don't want to be the secondary player anymore.
No.
You know, some people are just not content with that. Some people have bigger aspirations.
Everyone sees themselves as the main character of their story, but Remy Lavey wants to be the main character of professional wrestling's story.
Damian Chambers now looking to evade from that wrist lock and a kick right to the side of the arm there of Remy Lavey to break the grab.
But if there's a natural protagonist in the story of professional wrestling, it is Damian Chambers. He has everything it takes to be a hero. Look at that athleticism. Look at the looks, the charisma, the heart. I mean, this man stepped up in War Games when he didn't have to. This man has taken on all comers and he earns everything he gets.
Oh, now we're a cross arm breaker here on Remy Lavey. Remy trying desperately to get to a bottom rope. It could have ended right there.
It only takes 3 seconds. It only takes 3 taps of the hand for all your dreams to evaporate. As Christian Noir now comforting Remy Lavey. And we still don't know. We still don't know exactly what was promised to Gage and Noir. And now Gage, we knew was going to happen. And here it is, inserting himself.
Oh, and Remy from behind now.
The sideshow psycho feigning innocence, not knowing why Damian Chambers would be coming out, breathing fire down his throat.
We saw it so often in the match last month against Cowpoke, Paul, of how the Origin inserted themselves just to give Remy Lavey enough time, just to give him a distraction for Remy to capitalize on. Ooh!
The Origin is already 2-0 here, filling in a power vacuum that we've seen.
Oh!
Flatliner. Remy Lavey caught Damian Chambers close to the ropes, but Chambers actually kicks out instead of putting his foot on that bottom rope.
So smart is Remy Lavey. You can't put his intelligence, you know, to the wayside, no matter what you may think about him as a person, because Remy Lavey, with the wrestling experience that he has, but just his innate ability to see an opening and take it. And we saw it there as he was able to cut off Damian Chambers, but Noir now.
Christian Noir, the Bayou Bully. And now we've seen both members of the Origin insinuating themselves into this contest. The Origin are 2-0 here today at Road to Victory. We saw the tag team of Noir and Gage victorious on the pre-show. We've already seen Remy Lavey win that 4-way. Can they make it 3-0?
And you talked about it on the pre-show about how maybe the Origin looking to fill that void of power that the Deplorables left. Oh, as sends Chambers right onto his knee and goes right into a cover.
Remy Lavey almost winning that title. There is no one who wants to try and put the nail in the coffin of another group before they get started than Damian Chambers. He was instrumental in the destruction of the Deplorables. He saw what happened when power ran roughshod in this company and was left unchecked. No one wants to see that happen again. And Damian Chambers is our first, best, and last line of defense against that happening again.
Remy Lavey in full control now. Again into a cover, and look at him just pie-facing Damian Chambers.
Not only is that making it more painful, not only is that distracting for Damian Chambers, but that dispersion of pressure in a very different way than a lot of wrestlers are used to makes it more complicated to kick out of that pin.
And now backing, Chambers up into the ropes.
Remy Lavey has wrestled a very smart match. It hasn't been a fair match. It's been a match laden with interference, but that doesn't mean he hasn't approached this with a level of tactical precision you would expect. This last year has been a tale of two stories. One has been the metamorphosis of Remy Lavey from a man who lost a tag team match in his first match here, and now may win a championship in front of our eyes. And then, of course, the story, as you'll say, of Damian Chambers.
Absolutely. Notice Remy with Remy Lavey, even tighter covers now. Just knowing that the more punishment he dishes out in Damian Chambers throughout this contest, that he have the opportunity to capitalize. Oh, what a headbutt there.
The road to victory for Damian Chambers. He continued to score Pyrrhic victories over Tanner Reynolds. Tanner Reynolds ran away rather than ever actually face defeat. Damian Chambers then sought out bigger and better competition. He slew Dragon. He won opportunities, and he won the hearts of these fans. There are not two more different journeys to the finals than you are seeing than the one between Remy Lavey and Damian Chambers.
Aaron elbow there by Chambers sends Remy out to the floor, and Chambers comes charging. And almost like a heat-seeking missile, the way he just aims his body at Remy Lavey and shoots out of the ring.
Damian Chambers went through Remy Lavey, caught his spirit and pulled it out of his body and through the other side.
This is exactly the momentum that Damian Chambers is needed.
You saw that kip up. He was able to achieve it, but he was a little rocky. We know that Damian Chambers is not at 100%. Can he capitalize while he has the opportunity?
Again now, up to the shoulders.
Fireman's carry,
Drives him
Uchi-Hiroshi.
right onto the top of his head. Cover, this could be it. No, Remy Lavey just able to power out and get the shoulder up.
And now, sensing danger, Noir inserting himself in the Sideshow Psycho, taking advantage. Someone get these two goofs out of the ring. I don't want to see these yahoos in this match. I want to see Damian Chambers get a chance.
And Malachi Gage now rolling Damian Chambers out onto the floor to dish out even more punishment.
Absolutely just so disappointing. I'm not even going to say it's despicable. That's obvious. It's disappointing. This is our chance to crown a champion. This is our chance to make a statement about who we are as a company. And this is what we're seeing? This kind of disrespect to the traditions of competition?
It doesn't matter to Remy Lavey. He just wants the gold. He just wants the glory of being the first ever VCW heavyweight champion.
I mean, let's call it like it is. Remy Lavey just wants to matter. He wants to feel like he matters, and he's found no other way to do it than, no matter what it says about him as a man, to be considered the best wrestler in VCW. He just wants love he wasn't given as a child, that's for sure. And Damian Chambers, no love there.
Chambers now comes charging. Ooh, sweeping at the leg, and a forearm shot.
Looking to knock Lavey unconscious, lifting Lavey up. We saw Chambers win with this move earlier, and instead, no, going for a backbreaker. I think, did Lavey hit Chambers on the way down?
Either he struck him on the way down, or I was going to say Chambers' leg also might be giving him still some issues, as we mentioned before, him still coming back from this injury.
The crowd's starting to come alive on behalf of Damian Chambers. No doubt Lavey, and we want to see represent our company as champion. Backbreaker.
Remy Lavey now going to eye up. Sling blade. And now muscling over for the cover.
Just draped over, no pressure able to be applied. Still, even just a draped arm over the chest. It took everything Damian Chambers had to get out of that.
And that more you power out of a kick out, the more energy you have to expend, the more, it takes away at your stamina. The good news for Damian Chambers, he has shown time and time again at VCW that he is a stamina monster.
There's no one with more resiliency. There's no one better suited to be a late game player. No one suited to be a big game player than Damian Chambers. And Remy Lavey, absolutely a heck of a competitor, but has been prone to resentment, has been prone to distraction.
Now both men trading blows here in a stalemate, trying to one-up one another, it seems. Oh, what a shot there by Chambers. So explosive.
Both men interrupting the momentum of the other. Those discus lariats in stereo. Both fall to their knees, but you did see it was Chambers who fell first. If you're measuring this in points, well, first off, Remy Lavey will be disqualified because of cheating. But after you get past that fact, absolutely, I think he scored more hits on Chambers than Chambers has had on Lavey.
Now they have to, at this point in this matchup, both competitors really got to find that extra tank of energy.
These two men have already both wrestled matches tonight, and in that match, Lavey did not rely on any outside help or interference. These two have already wrestled this evening against some of the best in the business.
Oh, big uppercut there by Chambers, rocking the mind eraser. Comes charging again. Both men with the same idea.
Throughout the entirety of this competition, we have seen the two of them evenly matched. We've seen the two of them almost reading each other's minds, knowing what the other is going to go for, going to the same moves in the playbook. Mirror images, distorted inversions of each other in this main event.
Free up to a count of 6. We would hate for a championship match, particularly a first championship match, to end in a draw, but
that would be incredibly disappointing. We want to see a winner. We want someone to go home with big green.
Remy Lavey pulling our referee in the way of that super kick.
Doing a great job of orienting. Oh, no! And Remy Lavey just speared our official into unconsciousness, and no one can win now. And unfortunately,
of course the buzzard swarm now. Malachi Gage, Christian Noir out onto the apron, and now Damian Chambers having a fight off the origin.
It may be Lavey that's down, but it's Chambers that's in danger.
This has gotten absolutely ridiculous in this when it comes to this interference. Chambers.
Great job by Damian Chambers. He's no rookie. He knew exactly what he was getting into. Chambers knew this was 3-on-1. He had to be ready for this possibility. It looks like it's got him fired up.
Sends Christian Noir onto Malachi Gage.
Christian Noir is not a small man. That is a thick, thick boy.
Wait, Remy came charging. Damian with the kick.
That jumping enziguri, and now we saw this is the maneuver that won Damian Chambers his fatal four-way. This is over.
With it. Cover, hook of the leg, but there's no referee.
2, 3, 4.
You can count as high as you want. There's no official.
This should be done. Damian Chambers should be your champion. He should be heading for a celebration. He should be heading for a pay raise. And Gage is still back in. Can we get some kind of decorum?
This has gotten absolutely insane here with the amount of interference, with the amount. What the hell?
I genuinely don't know. I hear sleigh bells.
What?
I think Santa Claus just entered the building.
There's a chill
in the air.
And Malachi Gage and Christian Noir went running.
He knows who's naughty and he knows who's nice, and for absolute sure, it's Remy Lavey. What? Santa Claus just hit. Oh no.
Wait a second.
Santa Claus went rabid.
Mad Dog Meyers, what the hell?
Fresh off defeating Beastman, his first thought was to buy a Santa suit and interfere in our main event? What happened to going to Disney World?
No, not the backpack setter.
Mind eraser. Remy Lavey, this is not the way it's supposed to be.
No.
I just want to be very clear. What a night for these two. Zach Meyers and Remy Lavey. Remy Lavey, he said he would not be denied, and he is. He is your new VCW champion, Eamon.
And Zach Meyers donning a Remy Lavey t-shirt, proving the difference.
And I don't know if this means that Zach Meyers is somehow joining the Origin, if Zach Meyers was for hire, if Zach Meyers, I don't know. All I know is that Remy Lavey is your champion. And I think that is the answer. Zach Meyers flashing the sign of the Origin. I gotta tell you, I'm thankful. I was born Jewish, so I never believed in Santa Claus, because if I ever had, my heart would be broken.
Remy Lavey has reached the top of the mountain in VCW, and he's done it by any means necessary, just like he said he would.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're sorry it has to end this way, genuinely, but what a heck of a night. VCW Road to Victory. Use the hashtag VCW Road. Tell us what you thought, how disappointed you are that our first champion is Remy Lavey, and what life is gonna be like now that the Origin has the gold, now that the Church of the Guiding Light has Jimmy Shane. It's a dark, dark day for VCW. For Eamon, I am Jason Heat. We really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us on Fight TV. We'll see you again in January for Victory Championship Wrestling.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.